Hello, people. Welcome to Lost Caravan RPG. And here with our second episode of Delta Green Impossible Landscapes. I am your handler, Doc Rimbo. My pronouns are he or she or they or whatever you feel like. And I'm thrilled that you're here. I'm also thrilled to have my full cast here for this, our second episode. Things in the first episode went off the rails real quick, but more on that in a little while. We're just glad you're here. I think what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to say thank you to our sponsors, especially this week for Epidemic Sound. All the music that you're going to hear in today's episode came from Epidemic Sound, and also to Lost Caravan itself for hosting our sometimes fun, sometimes weird and scary little show. And so we're glad for that. Also, just as a reminder before we go around and do cast introductions, is that this show is intended for mature audiences. The content warning for this thing is extensive. And so if we ever come across something that makes you uncomfortable, please take a break for yourself or mute us or whatever you got to do. Go play Minesweeper and then come back. And we'll be glad that you did. Yeah, Minesweeper, Colin. I saw that face. I saw that face. What, like you don't play Minesweeper? Come on.
I just thought you were doing it's the 90s, so what else are you going to do on
That
your PC
too.
but play Minesweeper, right?
You stopped playing
Checks out.
Minesweeper after the 90s?
Oh, honey.
I was never any good at it. So
I sucked at it,
Mm,
too. I played it as a kid where I would just click randomly and see what happened.
I wasn't very good in the 90s. I was a baby.
You're never going to recover that.
That's your fault.
But I'll
You can't
bust an ass
recover-
in Tetris, so
Yeah,
or Tetris,
Tetris is good. But Minesweeper, you'll never recover that sort of pulse pounding, sweat on your brow Minesweeper experience. Let's go around and beat our cast for this week.
They're not real mines, Doc.
Yeah, well, that's how you lose, is when you stop thinking about them as real minds. Let's go around and meet our cast. Just tell us who you are, who you're playing, maybe a little bit about them, and then we will just proceed around the circle. Let's start with the person who here on the stream is to my left. That is my friend Liv. Hi, Liv.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
Same, quite frankly.
Okay.
Hey, y'all, my name is Liv. I used to say I will be Agent Micro, who, oh God, ooh, I've never really thought. I mean, I guess the pronouns that people gave me work just fine. So she and her, yeah, she and her are good pronouns. Yeah.
Yes, Agent Micro. What does Agent Micro do again?
Agent Micro is a DEA agent and has officially now, I guess, 1 year of Delta Green work under her belt.
True.
But is still definitely the least tenured of the group.
Yeah,
That's okay.
and it's also something you don't add to the resume either.
No.
Like that's not going on her CV.
No,
It's a shame.
what it is her master's degree in computer science and
Nice.
engineering.
Yes, she is computers.
Yep,
And
that's it.
good. She is computers and she good at them. Thank you, Liv. I'm so glad you're here. We missed you last week. Welcome back. And of course, to your left is our friend playing Agent Michael. It's Turk. Hi, Turk.
Hello, how are you?
I already answered that.
I know.
I'm good-ish, I guess. How are you?
Good-ish. We'll just keep
Okay,
reflecting that. All right.
Yeah.
But anyway, hi everybody. I am Turk, or Turk Accented, in the highest borough groves of the Emerald Court. I am playing Agent Michael, God's favorite Marine, in many ways, and I am here to be spooked. And I hope you are too, because that's going to happen whether you want to or not.
There you go. We'll force some spooking on you. Well, consensually.
Consensual spooky. Of course, you have
yes.
the option.
Excellent. Let's keep going. We'll go right below me to another person who we missed last week, and we're so glad you're back. It's Casa Welding playing Agent Martini. Hi, Casa. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. I'm much happier now that. So yeah, I'm Casa. I'm playing Agent Martini, like Doc said. She's an international super spy who tries to get her way and does usually, but you'll never know that she's there. Or, I mean, if you know that she's there, maybe she wanted you to know that she's there. And yeah, like Turk, I'm ready to get spooked, and I'm really excited because this is what I've been looking forward to. So.
Well, I'm glad she's here, and I'm glad you're here. And I noticed that you're here, so that must be on purpose. Great. And then one more stop around the circle. It's Colin. Hi, Colin.
Hi, Doc. How are you?
I swear. No, I'm good. Great. Thank you.
I just
I'm
thought
getting
maybe the
better.
answer would
I'm
change.
getting
Like
better
maybe
with
you'd be
each
getting
person.
That's what I thought. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'd get a little
Yep.
better as you go around because you were with your
Mhm.
friends. Yeah, sure. Okay.
That's right.
And
That's
then
right.
you'd hit me and you'd go right on back where you were.
No, you goof.
No.
Yeah, shut up.
Okay, I will.
Who are you?
Oh, Colin.
Yep.
Oh, wait. And I role play. And the person that I play is I'm getting in character. See, is named well, you can't know his real name, but he goes by Agent Mythic. You can actually know his name. He said it multiple times so far in the
Yes,
series.
he's very bad at
Uh,
keeping that secret. Yeah.
He's extremely bad and doesn't give a fuck. But
No, he does
he
not.
goes by Agent Mythic, who is our professor, university professor of history and mythology, because he doesn't see the difference, and recently published and shockingly accomplished novelist. Recently published a novel about his adventures in Delta Green that features horrible parodies of all the people that just got done talking.
It's true. It's true. It's basically the Mad Magazine version of the last mission that you were all on.
Yeah, pretty
Really.
much.
Yep, pretty much. But we'll see if that comes back to bite him in the butt, which it will.
Get me lots of money.
Yes, we'll see if that comes back to bite him in the wallet and give him lots of money. Okay, I believe that is good. So, with all of that in mind, we are going to get started. Deception is a right. Truth is a privilege. Innocence is a luxury. The paragovernmental organization known as Delta Green exists to investigate, contain, and conceal unnatural events because the unnatural is real and it kills. It is still Tuesday, April 8th of 1995, and we are in New York City. Last week, we watched as two of our agents, Mythic and Michael, arrived and were given a briefing on what they're meant to do. An artist has gone missing from a Manhattan Kips Bay neighborhood apartment co-op. And when the police and eventually FBI were called in to investigate, they found something which set off a flag with Delta Green and alerted them to the possibility of supernatural presence here. And so they activated M-Cell, made up of the agents you see before you. When they arrived at the apartment, agents Mythic and Michael found a baffling tableau that is basically a hoarder's dream. It is an apartment that was stocked with all sorts of weird shit. There is old medical equipment like prosthetics and dentures and wheelchairs. There was an old army radio that was like a walkie-talkie backpack on the wall, pieces of paper everywhere, and big sheets, clothing, all sorts of weird things. And all of these things were glued to the walls of this person, Abigail Wright's apartment. They investigated for a little while, Mythic mostly talking with other residents in the building who seemed odd, but not necessarily dangerous, and Michael in the apartment itself. When Michael picked up the radio walkie-talkie, he heard Mythic's voice that we know is from a phone call Mythic made a year ago. He pulled the walkie-talkie backpack off the wall, causing it to break open and the battery acid singeing his arm. Later, after calling it a day, Mythic went back to his hotel room with his girlfriend, who he brought with him on a top secret mission. And Michael was left in the night floors of the McAllister building alone after dark. After speaking with another resident who insisted that Abigail Wright wasn't missing, she just moved upstairs and seemed to think that Michael was stupid for even asking the question. Michael decided to investigate, and so up he went, up to the second floor and then the third floor, and then through a door marked roof access. But before we get there, we are in JFK Airport, and we open with a shot of 2 feet walking down a jetway into the terminal itself. We pan out to see Agent Micro. Liv, would you mind telling us what Agent Micro looks like, appearance-wise?
Yes.
How she travels?
Oh. So Agent Micro herself is like I forget what I said last time. I think it was like late 20s, early 30s. It's been forever.
Sounds right.
Been a few months. But yeah, late 20s, early 30s, black woman. And I think that she travels purely in comfort and efficiency, no style whatsoever. So she has all of her hair like braided back, so then it's like nice and safe during the travel. She is wearing the ugliest, most ergonomic shoes that you've ever seen. She is wearing just like big cozy sweatpants and a big oversized sweatshirt. I think it's her alma mater. So it's like one of her old university sweatshirts. She has like big chunky glasses on. Her bag is full, or her carry-on is like full of books to entertain herself because she does not sleep on a flight, gets too anxious about it, and is rolling her baggage with her as she leaves and is adjusting. Also, I am now just realizing that I have no idea what pre-2001 flight was like. I think I flew to Disneyland for my 5th birthday, which would have been 1999, and I have no memory.
It was wild. There was
Very
no,
nice.
there was no fucking security.
There was
No security.
You walk up to the gate.
Yeah.
But it's also
you could walk up to the gate. It was bizarre.
it's also important to remember that basically it was the same. Like you got in a big metal tube and they launched you into the air and you landed somewhere else.
Yeah. That's all the same. But I'm like sitting here, I'm like sitting here like, well, she probably wouldn't have any beverages. No, she would have had every beverage. It's the 90s.
Yeah, and she would have brought those from home onto the
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she wouldn't have had to throw it out or nothing.
Bless.
Well, Agent Micro is walking quickly up the jet ramp, and you get into the terminal when we see another person approach, dressed in the uniform of a pilot for American Airlines. Casa, do you want to describe your character and how they appear?
Yeah, so she, Agent Martini, is, you can't really tell what kind of ethnicity she is, but she's got dark hair and like tan skin. And aside from the jacket, she's probably wearing like leather pants and like leather boots. Definitely doesn't look like she's gonna be flying a plane, but she definitely just grabbed that jacket somewhere and the credentials. So she's got these aviators on, and she looks like she was called in last minute, and no one else could take the spot. So then, yeah, she's just
Wonderful.
chilling.
Agent Martini sees Agent Micro before I think Agent Micro recognizes Martini. How do you approach Micro?
Are we on the plane
You
yet?
are
No.
at the gate, like you're in the terminal.
We're coming out.
But you came off different flights.
Yeah.
But you see her, like it's weird. Your flights must have landed around the same time in the same terminal, and the odds of that being coincidental are very slim.
Micro, right? Yeah. It's
Oh my-
it's been a while, hasn't it?
I look at her entire getup, and I'm very confused. Were you on a flight? What are you doing? Well, okay, I guess it makes sense. I don't need to ask why you're here. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's been a while. It's good to see you. You look Great.
Yeah, you too. How's it been in computer stuff? You were doing computer stuff, yeah.
Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago.
Um, it's been good. It's been good. Busy. Didn't think. I don't know if I actually thought. Is this like a decent? Is this too soon of a time to be on a mission again? Do missions happen frequently?
I don't really question it, you know. If they call you, you kind of just answer. Anyway, what did you think of Mythic's book? And Martini kind
My-
of grabs the
My
limbo
face
kind of.
falls as you talk about this, and just. Oh.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was reading it on the plane. I guess they didn't really need me to help with, piloting or whatever. So I thought it was quite good. I liked it. I liked my name for starters. I mean, I assumed, yeah, they were all us, right?
Yeah, that's the idea that I get. Very uninspired versions of.
Your conversation is interrupted. You hear a voice about a dozen feet away. Somebody clears their throat and he goes, "Ahem." And you look up to see a man holding a sign with a big green triangle on it. And it says next to it, Triborough Transportation. And then it has below it the names Martini Micro, as if they're waiting to pick you up to give you a ride. This man's wearing a disheveled suit. You can smell from here that he smells like menthol cigarettes.
You think that's for us? I mean, that's for us. You got everything? Let's head over.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the glory of the 90s, this man is right there at the terminal, right where you got off your plane to pick you up, as opposed to like baggage claim or something like that. And he looks at the two of you as you approach and he says, "Hi there, I'm Agent Marcus. I'm your handler this way." And he starts walking quickly towards the exit to the terminal.
Okay.
All right, Marcus.
He keeps talking, and as you catch up, you see him sort of take this sign and fold it up and toss it into a trash can as he passes, and keeps on going. He says, "All right, your two co-workers are already in town. They got in a few hours ago. It is," he looks at his watch. He says, "It's about 5:40. So guesses are they're still at the place where we're going. Here's the situation at hand." And I'm just going to hand wave this. He gives you a briefing. An agent has gone missing. Her father was a police officer, alerted the police, tried to get some attention on this case. When the police couldn't find anything, eventually they got a ping on a credit card of hers that came up in Maryland. And so they alerted the FBI, as it was an interstate case. And when the FBI got there and investigated her apartment, they found what Agent Marcus describes to you as an occult symbol. He does not go into detail about what the symbol is exactly, but says that it's a cult, and that's all you need to know. And that was all that was needed to alert Delta Green and call you to the scene. He keeps on talking, and if either of you stop to ask for clarification on anything, most of the time he says, "I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't want to know." Anything you find in this place is that is confidential, and it would be best if it didn't make it back to me. And both of you, especially Martini, with your, I'm imagining Martini's human is pretty good. Your human score of like reading people, even if it's not, this guy is nervous, anxious, fidgety. And as you get close to the exit, he says, "Investigate the disappearance. If there's anything supernatural, stop it. Keep it quiet. You know how this works, right?" And I mean, other than that, just stay safe. I've got a car here. And he points to a town car that he's reserved and says, I've instructed the driver to take you to her building, the McAllister building on East 32nd. The other two should be waiting for you there. Any questions?
No.
All right. And he slams the door as after you get in. And just like we zoomed in on Micro's feet as we opened, now we sort of have another pan to Agent Marcus's feet in white New Balance sneakers, walking away from the car pickup. And then we transition to another pair of shoes. And these shoes are in black dress shoes with white accents. And they appear to come at the end of a pair of dress pants. And these feet are walking down a hallway that appears to be carpeted in rich burgundy carpeting. And then you pan out, you see a man dressed in a seersucker suit. He's a round man. He's got a round face. He's got a bright ginger orange toupee balanced precariously on the top of his head. And he has a stogie. He has a big, almost comically big cigar sticking out of his mouth and a newspaper under his arm as he walks down the hallway. Everything in this hallway, all the decor, carries with this sort of vibe of Victorian decoration. There is, like I said, rich red carpet. There are sort of furniture from anywhere from the late 1800s to the 1930s. And as he gets closer to where he's going, you hear another kind of music start to grow as the sound of a scratchy phonograph record comes into hearing. And he enters this room. It's covered on one wall from floor to ceiling bookcases carved out of rosewood with a rolling step ladder. The hardcover books come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. He stops by a wet bar in this room and picks up a glass of some unknown brown liquor. It appears as though there's plenty of other kinds of liquor behind the bar itself. And he goes over to an overstuffed armchair to sit down among another wall full of framed photographs. As he sits down, he opens his newspaper, and we see a door behind him, a dark wood oak door, open. And on the other side, we see Agent Michael. Agent Michael, you enter this space, it's not where you were expecting, considering you just walked through a door labeled roof access. But there's this guy. You are behind him. You can see this toupee on his head, sitting there reading the newspaper.
Now, when he entered, I think there's still that tension in his body, and the audience remembers he was absolutely had hands on a concealed pistol as he opens the door and scans the room, immediately checking corners, and kind of relaxes in a kind of way that as much as relaxed as Michael's ever been, in which to say if he were, a person, you could draw him with squares. And he stands back up. Really want to dance this.
Should.
No. You won't get me that easy. He's gonna walk in slowly, see if this person even registers him being in there, but he's absolutely going to be looking about the room, trying to really, admittedly, he's lost.
Sure. Well, roll me an alertness check
Absolutely.
as you sort of scan the room.
This is how we get good at it, folks. We keep failing. Yep, there you go. 87 out of 65.
Great. Yeah, I mean, the wallpaper seems to be velvet wallpaper. You notice that on the bar there's limes and lemons and oranges and olives and a bunch of clean glasses behind, and these hardcover books across that wall bookcase. And as you sort of circumvent, sort of like move around, orbit around this gentleman, he finally notices you and he looks up and he says, "Oh, hey, buddy, how you doing?"
Kind of turns and I'm well. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Hold on. And he folds up his newspaper and tucks it under his arm. And he gets up and he walks up really close to you. He says, "Hold on, bub. I know you. You made it out, didn't you?"
I'm sorry.
"You made it out. You know what I mean. You and me, we got out of the booby hatch. We ditched the G-men. And then I couldn't find you anymore. But glad to see you. You must have found your bottle, huh?"
I think there's a legitimate moment, I could hear the dial-up coming in.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my bottle.
Your bottle. Yeah, you gotta tell me. How did you find it? How do you get back to the labyrinth?
Sir, I'm not certain what you're referring to. I've only just come through that door.
He sort of looks at you and you watch as his expression changes. And where he was sort of friendly and cordial and seemed to know you before. And you see his face turn a little bit red as he starts to grow angry.
I'm
He's
putting
like,
a half
"You're
step back.
You're not who I'm thinking of at all. Some sort of imposter."
I can't be an imposter for someone I don't even know.
"Whatever you say, pal. Hey, you want a drink?" And he walks over to the bar.
I'm sorry. This is the 4th floor?
"Yeah, you're in the smoking lounge. This is the 4th floor of the hotel."
Hotel. I was led to
Yeah.
believe this was an apartment building.
"Yeah." Takes another drink.
I'm sorry, how can it be a hotel and an apartment building?
"Right. Here, what's your poison?" He starts to grab bottles from behind the bar.
It's just water for now. I'm catching up, you see. Long flight.
"Water? What are you, a Quaker? You one of those teetotalers?"
Jesuit, but I'm settling in.
"Yeah, Catholic, huh? Fine." And he grabs a bottle of seltzer water and pours you a glass of fizzy water and hands it to you. And he says, "Who are you anyway?"
You can call me Michael.
"You new to the building?"
I'm trying to find someone.
"Yeah, we're all trying to find somebody, buddy. Who are you looking for?"
A woman. Was told...
Hey, he starts making gestures.
Yeah.
And he sort of says, "Listen, pal. We're all looking for someone like that too, but here at the hotel, your options are,
Abigail Wright. I believe she stays here.
Abigail Wright. Oh, you're talking about Gail."
Yes, I suppose I am.
"Yeah, she's a sweet kid, Shame what happened to her."
What was that? I'm sorry, I'm catching up here.
"Oh, she fell in with that creep. The salesman. Moved up to 6.
I don't know anything about the salesman. Again, I'm sorry, I'm just into the city.
The encyclopedia salesman up on 6. He seems to think you should know who this is.
Yeah, well, the person downstairs thought I should know about Fourth, so, look, there's a hallway attached to this room you mentioned in the...
Yeah, right over there, Justin says,
Yeah.
and he points to a hallway that he emerged from not long ago, heading deeper down into this sort of like interminably long space.
And the stairs are there, because there's no more stairs up where I came from.
Well, sure. I mean, stairs got to be somewhere, right? If you're going up, you'll find them.
And why is falling in with an encyclopedia salesman and going to 6th so bad?
Listen, pal, I don't need the 4th degree, all right? I'm just saying, she was a sweet kid, and she fell in with that scumbag, and now she moved, and now I don't get to see her anymore. But that's all right. I mean, I can stay here in the hotel. And he sits back down in his chair.
4th degree. Is there another chair I can sit nearby?
Yeah, there's another overstuffed armchair on the other side of a small table from him.
He hasn't touched his drink, and he's just going to continue. He sits and then places it on a knee.
Mhm.
What do you mean by 4th degree?
You gave me the 4th degree. Ain't that what it called when you ask somebody a bunch of questions?
Not familiar, I'm sorry.
What'd you say your name was?
Michael.
Michael. I'm Mark Rourke. Look at us, we're from the Bible and shit, right? Takes another drink.
One and the same. All
Ain't
we
you
need
gonna
is
drink your
Peter
water?
and a Paul and a... he'll take the quick sip,
Mm-hmm.
gulp it down, like feel in his mouth first, do his best to see if this is gonna like have any residual powder or anything that might indicate a sedative.
There doesn't seem to be anything that would indicate a mass hallucinogenic experience.
Yeah, I'll take a sip.
Okay. Cass, were you disappointed when I said there wasn't going to be a mass hallucinogenic experience? Because I saw you make a face. All right. Yeah, you take a sip. It tastes like seltzer water. He opens up his newspaper again, and he's like, "Fuck, they're at it again.
Who's at it?
The Germans."
Oh, I feel like they've been handled already.
Huh, do ya? Well, if you thought that was bad, wait until you read this. This pact, between Russia and the Krauts, yeah, they're up to no good. Looks like they're invading some city to the south. I gotta go tell the night manager about this.
I'm sorry, can I see that?
Yeah. He hands it over to you.
Guys.
And
What the fuck is this?
and there's this newspaper. What do you look for? Just headline or?
I'm looking at the headline that would indicate a pact between Germany and Russia and moving south, which is...
Sure. Right there. I mean, like emblazoned across the top of this newspaper are the words, Russo-Germanic pact crumbles. Vienna liberated. Make me a sanity roll.
No. Okay. 70 for 57.
70 out of 57?
Yep.
It's a failure?
That is a failure.
Okay. There's nothing immediate that happens here.
Okay.
But it is kind of unsettling as your eyes look over the paper and realize that this paper, even though Mark over there seemed to think that it was current, has this aged, yellowed look about it. And then you realize that, a Russo-Germanic pact doesn't ring any bells for you.
Yeah.
historically, and the date on the paper reads 1st of July, 1923.
Looks at it and takes another long, and kind of does a bit where he sees the date and almost chokes a little bit.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, you mentioned a night manager. And
He's
folds
refilling
it.
his drink at the bar. He says, "Yeah, and he leans in close to you and uses a slur for somebody who's Italian in descent. Yeah, he lives just around the corner.
On this floor.
Yeah, on this floor.
Does he take visitors often? I'm not a member of the building. Would it be possible if I could meet him at some point?
You want to move in? I mean, he could tell you if there's any vacancies."
It's on a list of things I might inquire about.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just down the hall. It's got a big sign on his door. It says night manager.
I look down the impossibly long hallway again to see if I even see a corner.
Um,
Like, is there any indication this hallway at any point turns?
Make me, that'd be another alertness.
Well, you know I'm really good at them. Okay, actually, that maybe I should think of failure. Success for a 59 out of 65.
Yeah, it appears that there are several hallways that branch off of this one. One not too far away, which might be the one he's referring to, and they keep going, and it just gets, after a certain point, it gets so dark that you can't tell how long this hall stretches.
Just around the corner, huh?
Yeah, just around the first corner on your left.
Mr. Rourke, do you think you could make an introduction for me with the night manager?
Yeah, I guess. Sure. And he gets up from his chair, seems like lets out this big, huffy sigh, and stands up and moves towards you and goes down the hall, turns left, and sure enough, just as you turn the corner, there on the left is a door, and it says night manager on it. There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else, Your Majesty?
No, please. I've clearly imposed enough on you already.
Oh, no, it's no big deal. You know, we don't get many new tenants in the hotel, so I'm glad to have you around.
Thank you, Mr. Rourke. Yeah. Can I try a little sleight of hand? I want to hand him back his paper,
Okay.
but keep the front page.
Yeah, I'd like that. Sure. Go ahead and make me a sleight of hand type of thing.
Now here I am thinking it's an actual thing.
Yeah, we might be in the wrong system for a sleight of hand, but I mean,
Can I make like a dexterity? thing,
stealth or dexterity or
Stealth I could do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Success, 39 out of 50.
Great. Yeah, you're able to covertly fold up the front page and tuck it into your pocket before he hands you the rest of the paper back.
Thank you, Mr. Rourke. I believe we'll see each other again.
Oh, you can count on it, buddy. We'll see each other again and again and again. And he comes in real close to you and he says, and as he speaks, his mouth reeks of liquor, and this big red face gets in uncomfortably close to Michael and says, "Hey, if you see Gail again, tell her that Mark says hello." And he elbows you in the ribs.
Will do.
Turns around, walks back the way he came.
I turn to the night manager door and give it a authoritative Oh no. I brought the spooky music back.
We're out of the lounge.
Yeah, that's fair.
Give the door a little knock, 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 and after a moment, you hear a voice on the other side. And the voice on the other side answers and says, "Hello?
Hello.
Who is it?"
My name is Agent Michael. I'm trying to ask after the night manager.
"Yes, I'm the night manager. What do you want?"
I'm wondering if we can, well, rather, I can ask you a few questions.
There's a pause. One moment. The door opens a little ways, not chained, but on the other side, you see a face appear of an old man. He's got this white, unkempt hair, kind of like it's got the Albert Einstein hairdo, and these enormous, black-rimmed, thick glasses. And he looks out and he says, "Yes, I am the night manager." I can't do this voice. "Yes, I am the night manager. How can I help you?"
As I said, I'm Agent Michael. I'm inquiring after a Gale. I believe she recently moved up to the 6th floor.
Gail. He
Abigail?
appears to be thinking. He says, "Yes, Miss Abigail, right?
Yes.
She lived
correct.
on the 6th floor with the salesman. What do you want to know?"
Well, I'm mostly curious about when that happened, and if you might be able to let me up to see her.
Yeah, he's not locked. He's afraid to come and go. You go up the stairs and you will find her. The other tenants, they know her a little better.
Yes, I'm mostly curious how someone is able to move up to the 6th floor yet still hold an apartment on the 1st.
No, no. No. He smiles at you and he says, "Not first, 6th."
The building shows that she has an apartment on the 1st floor.
Please, I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, she is a 6th with a salesman. At this point, you're like listening to him speak for a little while, and it's not just a case of me being a bad character actor. This accent is very difficult to place.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any points in history or archaeology?
I do have points in history.
Well, you mind
Bit
roll
of
me a
a-
history check?
Absolutely. I wish I almost didn't, but it's a failure at a 59 out of 30.
At times, his accent seems Italian. At times, Iberian. And then once in a while, Russian. And they don't fluctuate. It's just got different parts of all those different accents mixed in. It's unlike any accent you're familiar with.
He's just European.
Eh,
By God.
perhaps.
The greatest horror of all.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm just unfamiliar. I wasn't even really able to get to your office without some help, you see.
Oh. And who helped you here?
Well, Mr. Work was kind enough to show me the way.
Aha, Mr. Rourke? Yes. And he smiles. And he says, "Mr. Rourke, very good. He pays on time every month. Are you interested in staying?"
Primarily right now, I'd like to speak to Abigail Wright.
Abigail
family.
Wright is 6th.
Yes,
Uh,
but the stairs lead up here, and I haven't seen any stairs thus far. Coming to your office, I assume they'd be easily accessible.
stairs. Stairs. Yeah, down the hall. Down the hall further.
Further. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thomas Manuel, I understand you allow him to use the basement as a studio?
Yes, Mr. Manuel, a painter. A painting in the basement.
And you allow that? Any particular reason that's allowed at the building?
Yes, our paintings. Very beautiful and very talented. And he may create in the basement.
What company do you work for, sir?
A company, no. And I work for the super.
Super. Who's the super of the building?
Yes.
The super. What's
The
their...
super. Who is the super? Is the superintendent.
And the superintendent's name is?
Yes.
Superintendent.
The super,
Yes?
he live upstairs.
Which floor?
Yes, upstairs.
I understand he lives upstairs, but on which
Yes.
floor?
He's having a party tonight.
On which floor?
Yes. Okay, goodbye. And he goes to close the door.
I'm really tempted to throw my foot into that doorway, but I would like to try and just put my hand on the door.
Okay, you put your hand on the door, and it doesn't seem to be very strong. And he says, "Please, yeah, please, sir,
Mr. Night Manager.
please,
Sorry.
Castaigne,
Mr. Castaigne.
Henri Castaigne."
Would it be okay if I came maybe tomorrow with some friends to inquire about an apartment?
Yes, you come tomorrow. Bring friends. He's tomorrow. He says, and he sort of looks at you and he says, "You bring friends tomorrow. The super have a party," and he closes the door in your face.
Looks up, composes himself, and goes to turn the corner. Back to the lounge.
Okay. You go and you turn the corner, and the lounge is there. You walk back in. Mark is sitting there in his chair, and he sort of gives you a wink. He says, "Going so soon?"
I need to make a call. Unfortunately, thank you for showing me to the night manager, though.
"Yeah, sure, no problem, bub. Hey, you look real stiff. You worked up or something?"
No, I'm just my training.
Ah. All right. Well, suit yourself.
And he'll open the door, and I feel he's seen enough.
Okay.
And I got
go up to the-
physical evidence, yeah.
You go up to the door, and which is closed. You open it, and there's that stairwell again. There's a little like a cable outlet box next to the stairs, and then stairs leading down into the McAllister. And as soon as you close the door behind you, the sound of the smoking lounge fades out.
Yeah, just, composes himself again a little bit, just listens for it, because he's obviously, you'd be able to hear that sound through a door.
Right. leans up and listens.
Absolutely.
An alertness check would be appropriate, I think.
Well, let's see if I get this one. Oh, hey, 53 out of 65. That's a success.
Yeah. Faintly, maybe? You think you could hear that sort of early jazz gramophone music playing through the door.
Okay. Kind of, it's good. Confirms with himself this was a thing. No episode or anything. And he'll confirm and check his watch, and also he'll realize he didn't give that check-in call when he got to his location to Alicia, and will sugar and start heading down.
I find it adorable that Michael says sugar. About this same time, as you're exiting that door on the third floor, this Lincoln town car pulls up in front, and Micro and Martini get out. Micro and Martini, you see this large brownstone that it seems to have been decorated in sort of like a faux castle style with like ramparts and cheap gargoyles and stuff like that. There's a little stoop heading up to a main entrance of the apartment building, and another set of stairs a little ways away going down, like right next to it, going down into a basement.
I think just walk around, right, Micro? See what.
Yeah,
Where are
yeah,
the others?
yeah. See the others, do an investigation. Yeah, knock out all of those things. Yeah, that's the best call.
They should be here, right?
I mean, they
It's
said
about like 6:30. The sun's gone down, but it went down. It just set like a minute or two ago.
what else are we in here in New York to do? Like, what else could we possibly be doing besides focusing on this case?
Do you want to go to a show?
Martini,
I mean, I don't know. Was
no.
that rhetorical? Okay. So
We'll
we'll
go.
walk
We'll catch a
around.
show. We'll catch a show after, maybe, depending on when our flights are. But
That's good. That's a good idea. Let's do that. And then Martini just kind of wanders around, and then she's gonna get a bit bored and just start shouting out, Michael.
Do you enter the
Midnight?"
building, or are you on the street? You go inside?
No, we're inside the building.
we're
Okay,
heading
yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're inside the building. You pass by a mailroom that is just covered in mailroom shit, like flyers and newspapers. A lot of those piled up on the floor.
I look to see if there's any pizza coupons.
Yeah, there are. Roll me. Gosh, is there? Hold on, wait a minute. Is there
Isn't there a search?
There's a search, right? Yeah, roll me a search for pizza coupons. Keep in mind, this is the most important role in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I could not have failed it more if I tried.
No.
Martini comes
actually,
up
there's
to
a-
Micro and it's kind of like, what?
Yeah, there's
are
this
you
brief
looking for?
moment. There's this brief moment where you are excited because you do find a flyer of pizza coupons, and then you realize that they expired 2 months ago.
Can I,
Sure. Yeah, look for pizza
Maybe
coupons.
We
Roll
just
me a
want some
search.
Zaw.
That's good.
Yeah, gotcha.
Oh, also
Oh my god, that's
1%.
so close.
22, 23 out of 22.
There's actually
No.
no pizza in New York anymore.
That's the
Ruined it.
surreal horror.
It's all burgers.
All the
That's
pizza's
it.
gone missing.
It's all Chicago deep
No.
dish.
Um,
Oh,
Ew.
Chicago casserole.
You move further into the building, and after a while, so you're in this sort of main hallway, and about halfway down, you see stairs going up. But it's like somebody's brownstone home that's been converted into apartments on either side, and you stand in the hallway for a little bit until you start calling out, and Michael, you hear voices.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, familiar voices or just voices? Because those are two different things.
They sure are. I think that for a moment, maybe after what you've just experienced, you question,
Mm.
but then you realize, oh, that sounds like Martini,
He'll
and coming from downstairs.
do a little bit. You'll hear the of the someone hitting every step with shoes, and come around the corner. Martini. Oh,
Michael.
Michael.
by the time you
How's
showed
it
up.
going? Oh, thanks. Thanks, man. Well,
No, it's-
Mythic's not even here, so you know.
Mythic is occupied. I'm not certain with what. I think he might be. I hope it's worth it, but you're here, which is good. It's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Have you found anything?
We can just know.
Should we go somewhere to speak about it, or?
Are
down
you?
here?
Have you both been prepped?
Hmm?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's anything new.
perfect. The room here is. Well, let's go to Miss Wright's room then. It's best to hit this feet in, fully in.
And as you head over to Abigail Wright's apartment, let's cut away because we haven't seen Mythic yet. And we come in on a shot of a Midtown art gallery, and it's called the Mercury. And the Mercury is this sort of like trendy gallery on Franklin Street, and it appears as though it's kind of austere inside, very minimal paintings on the walls, not much else. And there appears to be an attendant inside, and we see Mythic approach, and with him he has this lady with him, and you both walk up, and she says, "Oh, this looks interesting."
Yeah, it's kind of out of the way, and we really like the
I don't
mainstream.
mind. Yeah, I don't mind that when things are out of the way. You know what I mean? Like I like to put in a little bit of work.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we're here. Yeah. That's,
How'd you
off
find
the
this
beaten path.
place? How'd you find it?
magazines. Local. Yeah. I was reading the Village Voice. Actually, was mentioned. Yes.
Great. Well, let's go inside. I always like to appreciate the arts.
I know, honey. I know.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But mostly I'm looking for. Let me know if you catch it. By the way, this Abigail Wright exhibit I hear is just
Abigail Wright.
fantastic. Abigail,
Oh
that's
yes,
right.
you mentioned her name. I know who that is. I've heard of her before.
Reader, she does not. I thought you might have. I thought that name would pique your interest, so that's why I mentioned it. Yeah.
All right. You enter. The gallery attendant sees you come in, and says, "Hello. Welcome to the Mercury."
He
Goes
leans
back to
in
what
as
they're
if-
doing.
Wait, as if thinking maybe there's more. Hi.
Can I help you? Are you looking for anything specific?
Well, of course, we would like take in all of the art that you have on display, but I am particularly interested in one. A Ms. Wright, and Abigail Wright.
And you see this person sort of search their memory. Abigail Wright. Oh, we had an installation of hers last year.
Oh,
Most of the paintings were sold. She made a bundle. We still have one.
do you? That would be grand. And we're actually in the market, aren't we, dear?
And Amelia says, "Hmm." Like that. Yes, yes, we've heard great things about her.
If you
Well,
don't
all
mind,
right. Yes, please follow me.
you seem very busy, but if you don't mind.
And they take you to the back of this gallery, which is not far. You know, it's New York. Everything is very small, and they take you to the back of the gallery and says, "1 moment," and they duck into a back room, and they come back out with a painting. It's about schwa by schwa. It's not huge,
Schwa schwa.
and she says, "Here you are. Let's see." And she holds it up to you, and it's a painting of a house. It's I mean, it's sort of interpretive, you know. She must have some impressionist leanings, and it's not exactly sharp lines, but it's definitely a picture of this white house on what appears to be like a moor or a hill somewhere. And she says, "This one couldn't sell. I'm not sure why."
Is this person just like holding this painting here? Like holding it? Or is
They
it on the
sort of
wall?
display it like this, and they say,
Okay.
"Here, 1 moment," and they get out like a stand, you know, like a little easel stand, and they put it on there. And says, "Please peruse at your leisure. I'll be in the front."
And he watches them walk away, and then he stares at the canvas and like does one of
Mhm.
these, like the face of someone appreciating some good jazz, and
Yeah. Mm.
just stares in complete silence, hoping that Amelia will say something first, because for all of Mythic's many talents, uh, among them is he has absolutely no taste for art whatsoever. None.
We'll
Absolutely none.
say that Amelia does have skills in art. We don't exactly have a sheet for her,
Mm.
but you look it over, and she says, "Interesting. She's definitely talented. Hmm. Not a masterpiece,
Talented.
but I mean, it's just a house. Wait." She leans in really close. She's like, "Well, that's strange."
The house is strange.
"No, no, sweetie, here." And she points at one of the windows on the upper floor of the house. And as you lean in, you realize that finely painted here. So, not in the same loose, blurry impressionist style, but clearly just very small. There's a figure in that window. As you lean in really close, appears to be a person wearing a World War I era gas mask with a shotgun in their hand. And something about this unsettles you. That it would be not only in this painting, but so clearly represented on such a small scale and not in keeping with the rest of the painting. How about a sanity check for
Yeah,
Mythic?
I had a feeling that was coming.
Yeah.
In the not so distant future. All right, bud, you can do this.
It's a failure.
It turns out he could not do this.
No, he could not. You're unnerved by this. And so you sort of pull back, you take a point of sanity loss,
Okay.
and sort of look around the room, and Amelia's still looking at it. She
Does she
says,
seem unsettled?
she seems intrigued. She says, "How odd." And she stands up and looks at you and says, "What do you think? I value your opinion."
Um, no, I know you wouldn't call me crazy, but but does it almost in the midst of the larger style of everything here, these kind of, I don't know shit about art, but these sort of broad brushstrokes and quick stuff, isn't it? Does it strike you as odd that that image is almost photographic?
Hmm. Maybe that's her style. Maybe she does fine micro portraits inside of other paintings. And the two of you turn back to look at it again, and of course, when you lean in, it's gone. That figure is not in the window anymore. And the attendant comes up and says, "And what do we think? It's a steal. $5,000 was the asking price, but we've had it for so long, I'd be willing to negotiate."
Question: is
Yes.
there any method by which I can charge this painting to Delta Green?
Yes. But only if you have does oh, and I know you do actually. You have skills in bureaucracy,
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
right?
yeah, dude. I'm
This
in academia. I'm
this
looking
would
at
be I would take bureaucracy or I would take accounting to see if you can write this
accounting is a
off.
fucking skill in this game. Oh my god,
It is.
I'm way better at
And
bureaucracy.
everyone
not
has
know accounting.
10% in accounting.
We're all born that way.
And you all
Uh-huh.
have to do taxes.
We all have to do
It was
taxes.
part of the requirements. You did onboarding, you
Mm-hmm.
and you did
Learned how to
accounting
do
101.
taxes. Yep.
It was onboarding, sanity checks, medication updates, live rifle range shooting, and then accounting 101.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exposure, contact.
Either one you
tax write-off.
Bureaucracy it is.
Okay. Hey, you know what we're gonna do
Ah,
here?
damn
Oh,
it.
no, all right. Okay, good.
Damn it. Failed.
Now the question is, not knowing whether he fails at this or not, does Mythic attempt to write this off or charge it to Delta Green somehow?
I mean, yeah, like here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
He's probably recently come into more money than he's ever had in his life. But he's not a wealthy man, really.
Okay. Okay.
I think the book sales are definitely, he's on the upswing. He's probably on his way to being the kind of person who can be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll buy a fucking painting for $5,000. But he's not there yet.
Right.
And 5,000 in 1995 is nothing to shake a stick at either. So
No.
like, that's a good chunk of his yearly university salary. And Amelia, likewise, she's a professor. She can't afford this shit either. So yeah, I mean, his goal here is to try to find some way for Delta Green to underwrite this. And if questioned or pushed on this, he thinks this is evidence and it must be secured somehow. So if the only way to do that is, I can always try to steal it.
You could, or you could charge it and try to like send the receipts to Delta Green.
You know what? Mythic probably has a lot of credit card debt anyway. So let's just throw it on the old American Express and we'll just bill it to Delta Green later.
Great. So you do that. You the next thing we see
first,
is yes.
I want to negotiate a little bit because they did say that.
All right.
What
all
kind
right.
of rolls were like? Get them down on
Persuade.
this?
Persuade.
Okay. I'm okay at that.
Okay.
Oh my god. Why do I try anything?
What's the offer that you make?
$3,000.
And the attendant goes,
Do you need a lozenge?
I could do 4,500.
He looks at Amelia like, is this stupid? Do you like
Amelia's I think that as I play Amelia more, I think she's ADD because she is like looking in some other direction. And when you look at Amelia, she goes,
I love it. That well,
$1.
$1.
Turk, did you say $1?
$1.
He just gets
At
out
least
a
an
credit card.
even 4,000. At least an even 4,000.
Not a good
I'm going to
negotiator.
showcase 3,999.
120.
And we see Amelia and Mythic head back to their hotel with the painting.
He's carrying a
Wrapped up.
huge ass painting under his arm and like a taxi.
Brown paper. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
You fit right into New York. It's fine.
Yeah, it's totally normal.
Back
By
to.
the way, he makes sure he gets a receipt for that. 'Cause he
Oh
needs
yeah,
to show
he
it to Delta.
absolutely does. He gets this receipt, and this receipt that you get from the place. It is, I mean, it's not until you're back in the cab that you realize it. But the receipt itself is kind of unusual. It has
Oh, he stopped the music again. Fuck.
classic Justin. It is like it's on this sort of yellow paper, and it is like it's like a paper receipt, right? But it's not a carbon copy. It's like somebody had to write it out by hand, and there you see the attendant's handwriting. And it's kind of a weird thing. It's got like this like red ink stamp with the number in one corner, and it has this name at the bottom of it, and of the company that printed it. And down at the bottom, it has these serial numbers. That's what it is. It has these serial numbers, and it's like A2502, you know, and things like that. But it is it's unusual. We haven't seen a receipt like that in a while. That's all.
Oh, okay. Takes me back to my youth.
And we watch you as you go off to the hotel. Back to Abigail's apartment. We see the door open, and the three other agents standing there, framed in the doorway. And again, here's what we're looking at here. And this apartment is just top to bottom covered in a strange amalgamation of things. There is paper and objects glued everywhere. In one corner, you see a yellow CD Walkman on the floor that looks like it was pulled off at some point in an earlier investigation. There's also a broken radio that looks like it's an old army radio that was a backpack that is lying on the floor where Michael left it. The floor is bare. It's been, the carpet's been ripped up. And it's just sort of like nasty linoleum underneath. And notably to all of you present, there's no furniture. No bed, no chair, no TV. So Michael escorts you in, and ta-da, there you are, the apartment of Abigail Wright.
We've specifically been asked to catalog everything on the walls. How far we're going to get with that, I've put in some time. I think Mythic has attempted to put in some time for. But with all of us here together tomorrow, it'd probably be the best chance for doing that. We've already interviewed most people within the building. We're still... we haven't interviewed Michelle Van Fitz or Lewis Post. But all signs point, from what I found, that she has moved up to the 6th floor with a encyclopedia salesman.
There's only 3 floors.
That's what I believed as well. It
So more
seems
floors?
there is a 4th floor, a smoking lounge, and I pull my hand out of my pocket. It's been holding the paper, and the hallway system up there appears impossible. I've spoken with the night manager who was around the corner but had to be guided there by another occupant, resident. I'm not certain. The 4th floor is apparently a hotel.
It's a hotel that people are living in?
At least one. Two, if you count the night manager, though I don't have enough to include the possible paracausality of the night manager.
Right, but it definitely sounds like some sort of other dimension situation.
Perhaps
I'm
it
warm.
could be
Thing.
architectural oddity, but as it stands right now, it appears we've found an incursion point into something greater. Reaching the 6th floor requires going into the hallway, but I'd rather we attempt that with a full squad than piecemeal.
Okay.
Hmm.
Would it be fair to say that Agent Micro, I mean, I don't know if I necessarily have the skills to back it up, but I think it's like pretty fair to say that Agent Micro is really used to doing like big cataloging sweeps, right?
Sure.
Like digging through
Just
evidence.
what does Micro, is she like buffed up on bureaucracy stuff
Not bureaucracy. I'm only at
or
10, but
accounting?
my criminology is at 30 and my forensics
Mhm.
it's still not great. It's 20, but
Well, forensics is good too. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, those are pretty adequate. What are you looking to learn or glean?
well, what I'm gonna offer is if you two want to go and interview, I and like Micro starts like rolling up her sleeves. I can start, cataloging some of this stuff.
I check the time.
It is just before 7 o'clock, which is innocuous at first glance. But Michael, roll me an intelligence times 5.
You got it. That is a failure for 85 out of 65.
It's just before 7. Guess you haven't been here as long as you thought.
That's okay. I suppose we could ask a few questions. Martini, are you fully prepped?
Yeah, sure. I'll take your lead.
The residents here are of a firm belief, typically, that the 4th to at least 6th floor exists. I haven't confirmed a 5th floor, so could be worth asking. Micro, you're fully prepared? This is a lot of work.
I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get it all done, but I'll do as much as I can.
Okay. If you find any surveillance equipment, there might possibly be some kind of way to monitor the hallways. I'm not certain, but earlier investigations pointed me to that. I motion towards the army radio.
Okay.
Just
Oh,
be aware.
I mean, before we leave, in case this is boring because it looks kind of boring, Martini goes into her pocket and she pulls out like a small little Bailey's thing that she swiped from a hotel. Here, I have one for you too, Michael. And gets a little fireball thing. I'll forget what it is.
Takes it and slides it into a jacket pocket.
I mean,
Oh,
for
no.
any occasion. I just
You know
thought
what?
it
If
would
I
be-
start getting a little sleepy, I'll make Sophie and I'll put it in my pocket.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So Micro's staying here to do a little advanced work,
Mhm.
eager to get started, while Martini and Michael go to find the other tenants.
Yeah, let's start with Lewis Post is on A. So
Right. Let's actually start
just
with Micro.
Micro, if you need us,
Yeah.
Okay.
shout
Scream or
or
something. Yeah.
Get into the hall.
Okay. I don't want to scare any of the other tenants, but I will let it be known that I need help.
Good.
Right. They go, close the door behind him. And Micro, you're left alone here in this strange art installation apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And looking around, I think Micro is smart enough to know that with a full squad, it's going to take you 3 days to do this. If Mythic's not here, it would take a day longer, 4 days. If you're doing this alone, it's going to take you 2 weeks to
Days,
get.
yeah,
Yeah.
days.
So, but you could at least maybe make a small dent in it before you call it a night. Make me a search roll.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, what am I gonna say? Micro's other logic is she's a little weirdo, so she didn't think that her interviewing people would actually be any help. So I'll do a search roll and pray. Hello? And that's a failure.
Okay. You are looking around, and I mean, other than, just like you find like a term paper in Mandarin, which is kind of weird. You find, innocuous stuff like in one place there's like a row of eyeglasses like just glued to the wall in kind of a weird way. And then you sort of saunter over toward that that radio that's broken on the floor. And while you're looking, you start to hear like a noise.
Okay.
But it can't be coming from this radio because this radio is broken. I mean, it's obvious that it's not
Yeah, that
functional.
doesn't make
The
no
battery is out there on the
sense.
floor bleeding out like battery acid onto the linoleum.
Yeah. Why would that make any sense?
But then, no, you hear some static.
Okay.
Coming from the handset. It's like a telephone handset.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty crafty and I know my way around a electronic device, so I'm gonna go and reach for it.
You reach for this handset, and as you bring it up to your ear, you hear a voice on the other end.
Zone. We're on the way.
Well, if it's a recording,
Thank you very
I
much.
wouldn't be able to hear.
You should probably maybe set a perimeter on that. Not tight. Just if you pick up the vehicle that you've been looking for, you might get a hit.
I'll play it again.
You don't have to.
This is the zone.
I do.
We're on the way. Thank you very much. You should probably maybe set a perimeter on that. Not tight. Just if you pick up the vehicle that you've been looking for, you might get it.
You hear this voice that at first you recognize it, and it's Michael.
Yeah.
And then the rest of this weirdness sets in as you realize that you were there for this phone call. This phone call came in the middle of the night, a year ago,
Yeah.
as Michael was talking to the agents on the last case you worked.
Yeah.
And then, just as it started, the radio static stops silently, and the radio falls dead. And that's where we're going to take our break. And help me remember, the first thing that we're going to do when we come back is roll a sanity check for Liv. But if you're still with us, we appreciate you very much. Please go and get a snack and a drink and a bathroom break, and we'll do the same. And we'll be back here in like 10 minutes. If that's cool with you, it's cool with us. All right, we will see you very soon. Bye. Welcome back to Impossible Landscapes, the Delta Green adventure here on Lost Caravan RPG. We just had a moment off screen where Colin is also losing his sense of time and reality, but we'll just sort of save that for our recap show, Possible Landscapes, where we talk about everything that happened on Impossible Landscapes.
Where we sit in a patch of grass and talk about all our possibilities in our life. Manifest your dreams.
Yes. Before I forget, when we get back, Liv, our friend Micro has experienced something bizarre and surreal. How about a sanity check for me?
A what?
A sanity check.
A what?
We just-
Why?
It's a sanity check.
I I think she already lost it when she was looking on the ground for all of those pizza coupons. Just wanted a slice of deep dish, and all we had
I'll
were
factor that
fucking-
in. This will count for that as well. Yeah.
She is a Chicago girly. Now me, however, I do not dish. It is really just it's the halfway point between a lasagna and a bread bowl.
Yeah,
it makes no
thank
fucking
you.
sense to me.
It's fine.
Got a
Don't worry.
puddle on top.
Don't worry, everyone. We found
Mhm.
Micro's red flag.
Yeah.
Yes. Liv, stop stalling and roll me a sanity check.
But I'm so cute and funny.
You are. You're adorable. We all love you here. A
Look at you.
success.
Wow,
Yeah.
you got
No.
so much
I know,
sanity
it's
loss.
wild.
Liv.
For somebody who has so much anxiety.
Let's go over to Michael and Martini. Who are we going to talk to?
I believe we were going to go talk to the last resident on the first floor, which, of course, in my notes, which are so nicely written and not at all fast.
Yeah.
Lewis?
I think you've
Lewis
spoken,
Post.
yeah, with the others,
Lewis.
but you haven't spoken with Lewis Post yet. Correct.
Yes.
All right. So you go and you approach Lewis Post's apartment door, and give it a knock, 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 and it is answered. No chain. No. Doesn't even sound like he it keeps his door locked. He doesn't. You don't hear the bolts sliding or nothing like that. And the person who answers the door is a sort of good looking Caucasian guy who's kind of skinny. He reminds me of gosh, do you guys watch Silicon Valley? Did you watch that at
Yes.
all? Right? Do you know Jared, the tall, skinny guy who was kind of a yes man for the company for the first couple seasons before he joined the others?
Mhm.
That's Lewis Post. Yeah. And yeah, he opens up. He's wearing a button-down, short-sleeved shirt and khakis, and his hair is kind of messy. And he answers the door and sees both of you, and he says, "Hi, can I help you?"
Yes. Sorry. This is Agent Diamond. I'm Agent Streisand. We were wondering if we could
Okay.
ask you a few questions.
A few questions. Yeah. Sure. What's this about?
Abigail Wright.
Hmm. Okay. Is this Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, Abigail. Is this going to take a while? I'm working.
It shouldn't take too long. May we come in?
He stops to think for a minute. He says, "Give me a second," and he closes the door. And you hear him moving around inside. And then comes back and opens the door. He says, "Yes, please. Yeah, come on in."
I
You
motion to allow Martini in first.
Oh. Yep. Heads in.
you enter. And he's kind of got this. It's kind of a plain apartment. It's nothing spectacular. It's a little bit messy here and there. He seems like not like he's paying attention to it, of how kind of messy the apartment is. There is grease-stained pizza boxes in one corner, and some dirty clothes piled up elsewhere. And he has an easel out. There's no canvas up on the easel. But make me an alertness check, both of you.
Alrighty.
I feel like I know what this is for, and goodness, good Good. I got it. Sorry, I thought I had
Did
words
we
for that.
succeed on a roll?
I got a 62 out of 65.
Nice.
I
Way
got
to
an
No
80
go.
out of
stopping me
60.
now.
I did not.
Yeah.
I'm looking
Uh,
at something else.
yeah. Well, you're looking at like kind of the mess in here, and he is sort of standing there and he's fidgeting with his hands when Michael notices that he's got stains on his fingers.
So, Lewis, what were you working on exactly? Or what do you do?
I'm an illustrator.
Oh.
Yeah, well, I used to do cartoons. I'm moving on to some other stuff.
Oh, anything we would know about? Do you,
No,
in the newspaper or
no.
no?
He seems like distracted. He's
Sorry, we
looking.
must have interrupted some of your process here. You typically paint with your fingers or just close to the
What?
sheets?
Oh, he looks down. He's like, oh, yeah, I mostly do charcoals.
I see.
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of your work? I do try and keep up with comics.
I haven't done comics in a while.
Well, what are you
So
up
what
to
are you
now?
working on now?
What she said.
Yeah. It's not done.
My
I'd
team's
rather
gonna walk
not
around and try to
share it until it's
look
complete.
at stuff.
Yeah, you walk around and you see no charcoal drawings anywhere in the apartment. You do see on one like bookshelf, there's no books except for one, and this one appears to be a comic book or a graphic novel. Actually, it's like bound, and it's some superhero comic book. And you look at it on the front cover. It's got this big, large illustration, and in the bottom corner, it has his name, Lewis Post, illustrator. And he sees you looking at it. He says, "Yeah, put that down,
Oh,
please."
Sorry. Yeah.
What was this about, Abigail?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were curious. Obviously, you moved into this building to pursue your artistic career.
Right.
Did you know Miss Wright well?
Yes.
How long?
I don't know. She lived here before I did.
Did you often meet in perhaps a smoking lounge?
Sometimes. It's where we
So-
that's where we had our going away party.
Yes, on the 4th floor.
Yes.
And of course, she's moved up to the 6th.
Yes. Upstairs.
Why have a going away party for someone who's remaining in the building?
She went away. She went upstairs.
Help me here. I'm not a resident. She went
went
away,
upstairs.
but she went upstairs. That
Yes.
sounds like she's still here.
I don't know what you heard, but what I said is that she went away. She's upstairs. We don't see her.
Did you guys bang?
Diamond.
He shows Diamond. He shows no visible response to that. And he looks at you and he says, "No."
Sorry. Apologies for her crass language. I think what she meant to say is, were you close?
I knew her. If that's what you're asking.
And just passing in the hallway and...
Do you know
Okay.
your neighbors?
Well enough. Frequently, sometimes get each other's mail. I make sure to shake hands. I don't see that as a strange thing. This commune artist collective, though, seems
Co-op.
pretty... Forgive me. Co-op seems pretty closely knit. It's just why I ask. Seems like artists like yourselves would work well off each other.
I'm not in the business of collaborating.
Understood.
Maybe
So-
before. Not now.
Well, what happened?
Well, I used to work in the comic book industry. Now I work on my own work.
What changed? Just disillusion with the industry, or...
Sure.
Well, I didn't mean to answer for you.
Is this going to take much longer?
Did you move here?
When did I move here?
Why did you
Ah.
move here?
I guess I don't remember. Because, I mean, I saw the advertisement for an artist building. So I went to the Art Life building and I applied for residency and got an apartment.
Art Life, that's the people who run this, correct?
I guess. Sometimes.
Do you frequent the upper floors? Have you seen Abigail Wright since the going away party?
Sometimes, I said. Sometimes. I don't go up there a lot. Usually, this is when I'm most productive. Usually, he says. And he gets in, like, right up in your face.
Mm-hmm. I've had a lot of people in my face now, so I think he's just raising his chin just to accentuate that he's probably a bit taller
Yeah.
than him. And we apologize for intruding on that time, but you understand this is a serious case. Her family's
I don't see
concerned.
why. She's not here. She moved upstairs. I don't get it. Why everyone's so upset. If her parents want to see her, well, they can come here, and if she wants to see them, she'll see them.
Diamond?
Lewis, yeah, no, I was just wondering, are you happy in this apartment? Do you have any wishes to move upstairs like Abigail?
Now that's a question.
Do you have an answer?
Maybe. I'm not ready.
When will you be ready? Can we perhaps come around tomorrow?
That's a better question. Come around tomorrow.
That sounds like an invitation to me.
We'll check in tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes. He walks you to the door and holds it open.
Thank you so much for your hospitality.
Yes. He slams the door behind you. And there is this moment where the two of you are sort of standing there, like, kind of reflecting on what just happened. And then there's a noise coming from inside the apartment. You hear something.
Press up against it.
Yeah, I think there's a moment we just we both stand next to each other. And we just lean
Right. How about alertness from both of you there?
I guess.
I'm alertness.
15 out of 65. I don't know why it's so rare I succeed. I'm over 50%.
5 out of 60.
But I'm so excited.
Plus,
Big
You
wins for us.
hear Lewis's voice inside, like he's talking to someone.
of course.
And you can't quite make out the words, but you hear the inflection where it sort of goes up at the end of his sentence, and you realize he's asking questions. And so you hear this voice, you hear him inside going, and then there's like a pause. And then he asks another question, and you don't hear any response.
So you see my point about this building.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of weirdos. What's new?
Weirdos who have credibility. There is a fourth floor. Haven't been able to confirm a fifth or sixth, but I can confirm the existence of a fourth floor. It's a smoking lounge, just as they said. It's exhausting and
Sounds kind of fun.
no,
No?
you
Have you seen the blueprints for this building?
the building? No, we haven't
No.
gotten there yet. We came right immediately to the scene. We should schedule that for tomorrow, perhaps. Ask around this Art Life company, or seek out the architect of the building. This looks
Yeah.
old, tacky as it is. So,
It's got a charm to it, yes.
if the, I guess, lots of different tastes. Perhaps you can rent an apartment here.
Maybe. I mean,
I wouldn't recommend it, though I did schedule a meeting for us with the night manager tomorrow night, or tomorrow, I guess, at any point.
I mean that's smart. They'll be more forthcoming to customers, I suppose.
I hope so. Anyway, there's one more apartment. We can do that, or check in on Micro.
Might as well. Seeing all the stuff that was in that apartment, micro buried under whatever there is.
Let's hope for the best for our fellow teammates, yes?
That's all I do. So who's next? Michelle?
Michelle Van Fitz, yes, on the next floor. One of the, well, Thomas Manuel was very forthcoming, though a bit juvenilizing.
Isn't everyone to you?
I'm sorry, I thought you might have said something insulting to me. You'll have to run that by me again.
No, that's fine.
Thank you, Agent Martini. Now, shall we?
Let's.
Go up the stairs and approach the door of Michelle Van Fitz and knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. There's no answer.
It's entirely possible that these artists work best at night. We do have a resident who works in the basement, only seeming to do so at night. Clearly, Lewis Post also seems to be in his element in nocturnal hours. I don't know where she'd be, but give it one more.
No response.
It might be best to try and reach these people in the daylight hours.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we don't want to go in or anything. No.
If you have the capabilities, I certainly wouldn't oppose.
I do not. But that was the option. Let's try it tomorrow. People are friendlier during the day, right?
I'd hope so. But, damn. I was hoping your little spy tools would come in handy.
Oh, I mean, what if she's actually in there, and then we just bust in? It doesn't feel like something that you would want to do, right?
You seem to have a certain characteristic of myself in your mind, and I won't challenge that.
You're very open with the way that you want to be presumed, viewed. So I don't know. I couldn't do it. I don't have the things on me. I didn't really bring much. Kind of just came in quick from another mission somewhere else. You know, not important. But
Well,
yeah,
if the problem persists, I'm sure we'll address it in time.
Yeah.
The Lord makes ways. Let's go check in on
Sure.
Micro.
Back to the apartment. What's Micro doing?
So, have I used up 2 of my searches for the day, or just
You've used one. You can use.
Okay.
You could search again while they're doing this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then roll me a
yeah.
search.
I just there's so much stuff in this room that I feel
There
like
is
it
a
needs to
lot.
be
Yeah.
worked
Yeah.
through.
Strata.
True.
And that is another failure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that Micro's just tired.
Yeah. I've been on a
Um,
flight, and I don't think Micro
yeah.
likes to fly. And so I feel like even though the flight from Chicago to New York is probably very short, she just
Mhm.
used up so much emotional energy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, it's just like I would feel overwhelmed if I were her as well. You know,
Mhm.
standing in this apartment, I would be the same.
Oh yeah, like I'm not the neatest person, but there is a difference between being around just like casual mess and whatever this is.
Mhm.
So yeah, I
For
think
sure.
she's overwhelmed.
Okay. Well, maybe best left for the morning. And so, you all, meaning Michael and Martini, are coming down the stairs when you see Micro emerge from Abigail's apartment.
Any luck?
Not really. There's like a old radio.
Yes, the World War I radio.
Yeah.
I unplugged it. Whatever it was monitoring shouldn't be able to monitor anything anymore.
It wasn't monitoring anything. It was there was a transmission. It was you. It was actually you from a year ago. I remember you making a call about getting other agents to line the perimeter.
You're certain about that?
I mean, I'm tired, but I know your voice.
That's something, I guess. Okay. You didn't notice any other audio
She
recording
just-
equipment?
Yeah, she's just like rubbing her eyes, just. Oh.
Never mind. We need to get you all to a room. You already booked accommodations? Martini, do you still have your apartment?
I have another one somewhere around. Do you guys need a place, or?
Somewhere around.
I mean, it's pretty close. 1 or 2 streets. 2nd and 5th and. Oh,
Second and
We're on
fifth.
East Second. We're on East 22nd.
sorry, no. These.
Yeah.
these
You're on
streets
East
are
32nd
confusing.
and
Dubai.
3rd Avenue, I think. Yeah.
Did you say Dubai?
Dubai is easier to account for streets and stuff. You know, it doesn't have like 5 and East.
East
Broadway.
32nd and 2nd Ave.
Yeah. 32nd
Martini
and
is
2nd.
so
Thank
checked
you.
out that she thought for a minute she was in Dubai.
No, I
Oh,
thought
right,
for
we're
a
in New
second
York.
that she was
Fuck yeah.
saying that she was
Martini's
on
actually
Dubai
drunk.
Avenue, which I
don't know
was
what's
like,
happening.
Yeah. I'd also say at this point, depending on where Martini is coming from, you're probably jet lagged as fuck. Like-
I'm
Just-
barely awake right now.
Mhm.
So fair, but-
We can. I'm sure we can figure out some rooms. It's just a matter of finding out where Mythic's gone off to. That'll be the trouble.
Same with Martini. She's a good host.
You are
If you-
welcome to, Michael. I give you shit, but you know, you're cool-ish.
I appreciate this emotional opening from you.
Oh.
I'll,
Just
you can-
then, Mythic storms in carrying a painting under his.
I'm gonna fucking scream. I'm gonna fucking throw up.
walks
I love
in,
that.
painting under arm.
Body in front, gun out.
I
He
do want.
absolutely barges through and takes his painting, sticks it on top of a radiator, rips the paper off, points at it and says, "What the fuck does this mean? What is this?"
All of you see a painting of a house.
Mythic.
I'm no art
What?
critic. It's a house. A pretty house, I guess.
It's not. It's not. He's been staring at this thing for so long. It's not just a house. Look closer.
Hand
Look closer.
Are
forward.
you on drugs again?
I stop. But no, not at the moment.
Mythic.
He's smoking. He's like
Wa-
clearly
walk-
been chain smoking,
walk
and he
us-
just like
walk
lights
us-
a cigarette.
Walk us through it. Well, what happened this evening?
This...
Where'd you go?
Okay. While we met, you remember when we were here? I was here. We were both here. We were
Yes.
in. We
I
were, we were
recall
here
you
together,
had
you and I.
somewhere to be. I assumed it was important, and
It was very important because you see, Michael, I'm sure you're not aware of how this works, but when you have people of significant interest in your life, you need to sort of give attention to them from time to time, which is what I did. I went to an art gallery, okay, but I it was a working holiday. It was part of the mission because when I talked to that guy, the guy, oh, I don't remember his name, but I threw baloney on his wall. When I spoke to that guy, the wall baloney man, told me, I hate that I said that.
His name is Wallace Baloney.
Wall baloney man.
in this
No.
building, Roger Caroon.
In this building, I threw baloney at his wall, and it was art, and he didn't get it, so fuck that guy. But,
Roger Caroon.
yeah.
That's not
he's-
art.
No?
No, the other one.
The other one? Oh shit.
I mean, you can remember it however you want, but it was
He's
Thomas
next
Manuel.
door to
Thomas
Abigail's
Manuel.
apartment.
Thomas Manuel then.
Thomas Manuel. He knows nothing about art, obviously. So I threw baloney at his wall, but then he told me that Abigail had art in an installation downtown. You see, right. So I thought, okay, I'll take a look. I'll go look into it. I'll see what her art is, and maybe, if I see her artwork, it will shine a light on whatever the fuck this is. So I did, and I took my girlfriend to the art gallery.
What?
To
Ooh.
not now. Questions come later.
I'm not in one of your lectures.
Wait till the end. Okay, so I took her to the Mercury Art Gallery to go see Abigail's work, and it turns out that Abigail must be great because they had sold all of her paintings and they only had this piece of shit left, and we stared at it and we both saw the same thing, which is that is a house.
Yeah.
That we agree on. Yes, okay, it is a house.
Mhm.
We are, but in that window, and he points at that like the specific window right there. In that window, what do you see?
Do we see anything?
No, that's an empty window.
It's a window. Are you sure you're not taking any drugs? And why wouldn't you share?
What did you see?
Okay, I said questions can wait till the end, and I suppose I'm at the end now. So, yes, I have a girlfriend. Her name is Amelia. Yes, I have taken drugs recently, but not today. I'm sober at the moment. And what did I see? Oh, and no, I don't have anything on me. Sorry, Martini. I'll share when we get back to my part. But no, okay. So there was a dude in that window. There was a guy, and he was wearing a gas mask, and it was like one of those like
World War I era uniforms?
Yeah, how'd you know that?
I pull out the newspaper.
Mm.
I got this from the 4th floor.
Nope.
Just look at the date. Just look at the date.
July 1st, 1923.
1920. Oh.
That's.
You found an old newspaper on the roof?
Not the
No.
roof, and not old, according to the people who live there.
The people who live on the. Are you, Michael? No, you
We're-
wouldn't. You wouldn't take any drugs. Not you.
Apparently, there's
We're
no-
in some time warp thing, Mythic. Keep up.
When Martini says that, Mythic, you look at the headline and see this headline: Russo-Germanic Pact fails, Vienna liberated. Um, Mythic, you have some history
Oh yeah,
skill,
that's my thing. Yeah.
and you don't even need to roll to know that this is an event that did not take place.
Yeah. There's no
Um,
Russo-Germanic Pact.
there's no Russo-Germanic Pact, and then it goes on to in the article describe it, a lot of it is like basic like war commentary stuff, but then there's also this note in there about how these forces were fighting against something called the Black Wind, which seemed to be some sort of like military group or terrorist group or something like that. And it says something about a battle that is the siege of Ytill, which is spelled Yhtill. And you have never heard of this place. And it is the weirdest thing because it looks like a legitimately old newspaper.
He
You
scans
said
it
it
for a
was the Black
second.
Wind?
Black Wind.
The Black Wind.
He kind of dismisses it at first, but then he like kind of looks closer and then snatches it from Michael. Okay, this is. Let me ask you something, Michael. Does anything described in this newspaper sound familiar to you?
No. In fact,
And why is that?
because there was no Russo-Germanic Pact in 1924.
Correct. Whatever this is, I mean, you're talking about time warp, whatever. This stuff never happened. It's not. This is just some weirdo's performance art. These things didn't occur.
So, alternate reality time warp thing?
Something's wrong in this building.
Mm-mm.
We should
Well,
discuss
we knew
this.
that.
Yes, but perhaps it'd be better to discuss this out of doors. I'm concerned about the surveillance that might be here.
And he's looking straight over your shoulder as you're talking, because he's remembering that mailroom that Micro went through was when we came in. When me and Michael came in, it was a fucking mess. Like, it was totally turned over. And he looks down at the paper and sees 1923, and looks up at the mailroom, and he's like, it does the exact same thing again he did when he came in, where he just pushes right past you.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
he just walks straight for the mailroom.
Okay.
Because now he has a date to work with.
Yeah.
And
He's-
he just got off a date, too. But he sees this, like, scattered shit everywhere in here, and now he's looking for things that are from around 1923.
Yeah.
It'd be
It
weird if it
looks-
was here, but
and it's not. It is strange that like a lot of these flyers. First of all, everyone's got a mailroom like this, right? But a lot of these flyers are from like there's some postmarks here and there. A lot of the expiration dates would place a lot of this stuff as 6 months ago, 5 months ago. It's been piling up, and what's even weirder is you look at the mailboxes of the tenants, and you look in there, and there's just, I mean, there's a few like overdue notices, and you're reading all through all of these things, and you from one of them you're able to like pull out this little bill, and it says, you know, final notice, and it's from the power company, and it says they're going to shut off the power, and this was from 3 months ago.
who's it addressed
And
to?
then you look behind you, and there's lights on in the building. Make me a sanity check.
Okay. I'm so. Why would I ever think that I would pass a roll? That would be crazy.
Never ever. You take a point of sanity loss, and sort of get weirded out by like, well, maybe they paid it later, right? Maybe they went there in person and paid. Or, I mean, they wouldn't be
Just-
paying it. It would be the owners of the building. There's a lot.
Superintendent. He just looks like this is Mythic's massive level of compartmentalization that he just crumples that thing and just throws it aside. Like, don't even look at it, don't think about it. It's fine.
Mhm.
But then he looks up and looks at the mailboxes and goes and thinks to himself, why didn't I do this sooner? And looks for Abigail Wright's mailbox.
Excellent. Yeah, you are able to find it. It doesn't have her name on it.
But I know her
But
apartment number.
Yeah, but it does have her apartment number.
And if it's locked
you-
or something, he's just gonna like jimmy it open. He doesn't care.
Yeah, absolutely. You jimmy it open, and there are. It's mostly like junk mail, nothing great, but it seems like a lot of it is from a while ago. There's one or two, like there's a letter from her father in there, that is unopened, postmarked, back in May, and it's August now.
And it's... Oh, I thought it was April.
Oh wait, no, it's
What year
where's
is
it?
it?
It's August. Yeah, it's August.
August. Oh, the heavyweight championship wasn't on August 8th.
Oh well, all right.
Okay. So yeah, so it's August. So like 3 months ago. So this was May, and it's August. So that this letter was from May. So that's 3 months ago. So that's a weirdly that's a weirdly consistent thing with the shut-off notice from 3 months ago. So he comes back out, and he's just like throwing the junk mail aside and the whatever, all the bullshit that's in there, and just comes out with a letter in hand and says, "Remind me again. How long has Abigail been missing?" Not all one at a time, please.
Me, Liv the player, I truly don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I'm sorry.
Was it a couple of
I'm asking in character because I don't know out of character.
All
What
of
was
you
in her
think, and
apartment is missing? Yeah.
all of you think about it, and we see a little thought bubble appear over all of your heads.
Mhm.
And it's empty.
Right. And
God,
let
God,
me
God.
let me also find out the answer to this
Loading,
question.
loading.
Wow.
Yep,
That's
yep.
how meta
It's
it
currently today is the 10th of August, 1995.
Yeah.
How was the 8th of
The,
August? Why does nothing make sense?
No, it was the 8th when you learned. You met on the 10th, and it's still the 10th. So on the same day that you arrived. June 4th was the last time she was seen.
So like 2 months.
Yeah.
Shit.
Police
By the way,
investigated it for a
August 8th
while, got a dead end. FBI
August
came in.
8th, 1995 was the day that Gangster's Paradise by Coolio was released. So
Yes.
How
Yeah.
was she going to miss that?
She was on the 6th floor with this total skis bag. Everyone knows that. Oh my god.
Mhm.
Also, the number
Like,
one single on that day, though, although it was the day that Gangster's Paradise released, the number one single was, in fact, Waterfalls by TLC.
Excellent.
Don't
Thank
say
you.
All right.
You're welcome. So, okay, it pops back into his head. She went missing.
When did she go missing?
Sometime around June 4th. That's what that newspaper article said. Although you don't know much more than that, she was reported missing that day by her father.
Likely she had moved. Did we get a date? I've been talking to a lot of people. Have I not asked when the going away party was?
I don't believe you
good
did.
point.
Gosh, dang it! I'm really dumb.
No, baby, you're not.
No, thank you.
No,
But,
I forgot to. I didn't
okay,
ask.
but
Don't immediately knock back on everything.
sorry, I'll hold that in my brain for later. She's officially declared missing on, June 4th. So clearly, the going away party occurred sometime before that.
Going away party?
Yeah.
Something that the
Yeah.
residents in this building are very familiar with. The going away party occurred on the 4th floor in the smoking lounge, and she moved up to 6th with a encyclopedia salesman.
First of all, what's an
Oh, wow.
encyclopedia salesman? Second of all, that's the most cult-like thing I've ever heard.
Yes, clearly we are dealing with something deeply entrenched that I believe Martini can attest is pretty solid.
Micro finally snapping. It's just like, we are in a co-op of artists. Yes, of course, everything is cult-like. They're artists.
Thank you. Thank you. This is what I've been saying. Of course it's weird here. They're fucking weird.
Immediately, I'm crestfallen because God fucking damn it, I'm agreeing with Mythic on something. Immediately, I looked to
Both of you, please.
myself.
Of course they're weird.
If
I
you-
left you alone for like 3 hours and you've added 3 floors to this building. What the fuck is going on? And if she had a going away party, why are the cops looking for her? Surely they told the cops that, right?
Does that
I-
wait?
believe they might have.
Does that
and-
trigger anything that Mythic says that Mythic has been gone for 3 hours?
Oh, good question. No, not really. The only person who feels a little bit weird about that in terms of time is Michael, and he doesn't know why.
Yeah, because I'm not smart.
No, it's okay,
Well, look.
baby.
Whatever. None of this makes fucking sense, but she disappeared in June. She stopped opening her mail back in May. And
Are you
he
gonna open
produces well, now I am, but I was doing the dramatic. Come on. Yeah, okay. Fine.
Give him
Just
his
open it. Just
dramatics.
Okay. And he just very unceremoniously just tears it open.
It is a letter from her father, whose name is I believe it is Robert. I need to look really quick. No,
Bob.
it is not.
It's been Bobby.
That's from Uncle
Meh.
now.
Let me check.
Come on down the big
Yes.
bobbies.
We only got our father reporter missing. We didn't get a name for the father yet.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't.
Just like he's a
met-
cop.
Yeah, he said his name was right, and he was a cop.
Oh, that's right.
Mr. Right.
It was no, I've got it.
You think that's the
Um,
line used to bag her mom? Anyway, can you
Eh.
go?
Thomas, Thomas Wright is her
Right.
father's name, and it is from him. And it's kind of like an unremarkable letter, but it's like, hey, I haven't heard from you for a while. You're not answering your phone. Hope everything's okay. That date is coming up again. Like he sort of like hints at this date of like like it seems to be like a date of importance that should be also important to her. That's coming around again. And
Coming around, yeah.
Question number 1.
yeah,
Is there any mention of her mother being concerned for her?
there's no mention of her mother in the letter.
I've unlocked a clue in my brain parts. But, so I have a theory.
Mythic's reading this out loud, just like very
Yeah.
in his style, occasionally like rushing through parts that are boring, just like
Mhm.
yeah. Significant date coming.
The date
So-
that he mentions there is the 6th of May.
And this letter was
And this was-
postmarked when?
Like a few days before that.
Yeah.
So,
Mayday.
So she was missing before she was reported missing. basically.
obviously.
Yeah.
But, well, she had moved up. We theoretically know where she is. It's just the ability to go get her.
Mhm.
We'll talk about the extra floors you're adding to the building in a minute, but
The smoking lounge.
May 6th. May 6th. May 6th.
Her
That's-
mother's funerary date. Anniversary, most likely.
How the hell did you learn that?
He doesn't mention the mother in the letter. Either estranged or she's passed.
I hate it when you're smart. Huh.
So
Now's the point where if we were
in
playing a soft little fantasy RPG, that Turk would get an inspiration point or something like that.
Nah.
I just get to feel good about myself in this horrible,
You're
horrible
so
hell.
smart. See, I told you, you're not dumb. You got it.
Smart?
You so
So
smart,
smart.
baby.
Mhm.
What was I gonna say? So this encyclopedia salesman.
They were banging, probably, right? I would assume so. Unless they were like best friends.
Their physical
I mean, you could
intimacy
also-
notwithstanding, Martini.
I mean, it explains connection, right? If why she
Moving
would
up to
go
the 6th
with him.
floor seems to be some event of great import, and I would mention again that perhaps it'd be best if we discussed this more in a neutral location, not on enemy ground.
Wait,
Is there anyone?
wait.
There's no one there, right? It's
No one
an
around.
empty. Oh, yeah.
But Michael seems concerned about being recorded.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've got it.
Hmm.
Drinks on Delta Green.
I don't think that's an actual
You have a
expense you
Green
can
credit
do.
card?
Those don't exist.
I think I do.
Think what?
Well,
You're paying for that painting one way or another. By the way, could you help me wrap that back up again? Grab some of those flyers and stuff. I'm gonna have to maybe tape a few together.
Give me strength.
We'll say
can
that's a
pick up-
good place to stop this scene. 'Cause-
Yeah, it's
lot going on.
Micro as the bitch of the group, not the bitch, but the least tenured of the group, like just sadly just posting up expired.
Right, and you go out. You get drinks at some bar around the corner. I need to ask, where's Amelia? Did you drop her off at the hotel, or is she
Yeah, I
waiting in
dropped
the
her off at the
car?
hotel.
yeah, we need to.
Okay.
go
No, I didn't leave her waiting outside. I did not.
Just
I
waiting
went
for the
back,
taxi cab
Uh-huh.
fare go up.
I went back and made my excuse. Oh, I think I did. I pulled the exact same trick because Mythic's not as smart as he thinks. That he said they. Oh yeah, that's exactly. He said that he left his wallet at the art gallery when he paid for the painting, so he had to go back and get it. He just keeps losing his wallet, silly boy.
And why did you bring the painting with you?
To show you
This
guys.
is really good.
because he's very attached to it.
I think he said he was considering returning it because he thinks he got ripped off.
Oh,
could totally
before
do
we
that.
leave,
So
before
you
we
all
leave
go
the
out.
mailroom. Sorry,
Yes.
just before we leave the mailroom.
Yes, please. Yes.
How many? What floors are there?
Oh, sure. Yeah. In the mailroom, the mailboxes represent 3 floors of apartments.
Just 3. So
Yep.
that's it.
Mhm.
Great.
First floor is like apartments
all
that end with A, then B, then C.
You see Micro like very quickly counting, like her eyes are just flicking back and forth.
Mhm.
She resets. They flick back and forth one time, reset, and now as she goes a third time, she's counting on her fingers just to be
Nice.
100% sure.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Can we please? You can
Off
question
you
my
go.
Yeah, let's
sanity.
get
at
some
my
good-
location.
Sharing a painting.
Pizza, wings.
Pizza.
You all head off. You have drinks. You catch each other up on things.
We get pizza.
There's some small talk.
I think we'd bring it all back to the apartment so that we can.
Micro is
Yeah.
will not say anything, will not verbalize, deeply upset about the pizza.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
We would.
she's from Chicago and she's stuck with New York pizza. So, you go out and let's put a little, city noise for the apartment. There we go. You're in one of Martini's places and you talk everything over. I want to get to tomorrow. So, is there anything else that you do tonight? Any other points that you make to one another? Or where are you? What do you feel? What do you express?
That night or the next
Yeah,
day?
at some point that night, Michael's gonna stand up. We need a game plan for tomorrow. Clearly, we need a better idea of what we're dealing with. There are the people who own the building, the actual history of the building we can look into. We can, of course, attempt a second run at interviews with residents, and when we're ready, a full team meeting with the night manager.
Okay.
We
I
need
don't
to
know
check
an
out the
easier way.
smoking lab.
That's what I'm gonna say. But I just. Okay. Michael, you and I stood outside that building and we
Yeah.
observed the fact that it had 3 stories. We entered into the mailroom and saw that it had mailboxes for 3 stories. And now you're telling me that there's a 4th, possibly 5th, and you've heard of a 6th story. So, I don't think you're a liar. Doesn't seem like your character at all. I want you to tell me, if you can, in your own words, what you think happened when you entered this supposed 4th floor.
I entered into a smoking room with furniture dating from somewhere in the 1800s to the 1940s. The walls were velvet. The floor was some kind of rug. It smelled of smoke and alcohol. There was a wet bar and a man who greeted me, Mark Vork. He insisted he lived on the 4th floor, and eventually I convinced him to show me to the night manager's room. Despite the hallway being impossibly long, he pointed me to the corner after a short distance. I've spoken with the night manager, who insisted that he reports to the superintendent, who hosts parties every night. He did not tell me which floor they were hosted on, but I can confirm that Abigail or Gail Wright is on the 6th floor with a encyclopedia salesman.
Okay, perhaps I was unclear. I'll take that one on myself. I understand that that is what happened. Those are the events which occurred when you went there. I want to know what you think occurred that allowed you to be on the floor of a building that we can observe from the outside does not exist.
The last time we were together, we followed the footsteps of a woman who slowly, over time, shifted to not be a human. You have written an entire book about the impossibilities of these events. You're telling me
Also
now you choose not to believe in the possibility of abstract phenomena.
Not what I said. What I said was, what do you think happened? Have you encountered anything like this before? If this is supernatural, which I agree, sure as hell sounds like it is, what is it?
Clearly the building is in some way affected, but I won't know more until I understand the history of the building.
Okay. I have a
We
crazy thought here. Oh, go ahead, please.
Not just something that me and Michael found out while asking Lewis, one of the tenants, was that he was on the 1st floor, right? And he was talking about them on the 6th floor. So it seemed like they knew
Lewis,
what was going on.
multiple residents in the building can confirm the existence of the 4th and 6th floor.
And it also seemed like they wanted to get up there, right? Like I asked them
Yes.
up there, and it kind
It
of seemed like he didn't want
seems
to.
that ascension to higher floors is something to be envied.
Like a cult.
Like
Probably,
a cult.
yeah.
Conversation
I have a
peters
really-
out. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a really crazy notion here.
Mhm.
When we go back tomorrow, just to see what happens, could maybe we, I don't know,
Pretend to be
climb on the roof? Oh, okay. Or pretend to be in the... That's a good idea, too. I like... Way to be, computer micro. Way to be. That's really good.
Oh, it's me.
I'm sorry.
You've mistaken. You've mistaken. You've mistaken computer for
Yeah,
cocktail.
the second you say computer, Micro's face just falls. It's just so, like, angry
It
and
was
dark.
cocktail. Speaking of cocktail, and Martini whips out copy of the book in Arabic.
Name for a reason.
Arabic.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
love that they are always just like the itty bitty bottles. Like that's the thing that gets me.
Airplane bottles.
You know,
I mean,
gotta sign it.
absolutely.
you know,
Look at the
no,
Arabic
I don't
bottle.
have favorite characters, but is Martini becoming my favorite character this week? Maybe. With her
She's just so
drinking.
good.
Anyway, you all go off to get your rest.
Mm.
Amelia is asleep by the time that Mythic gets back. Yeah, go ahead, Michael.
I do note I do head out to a payphone to make a call.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Ha! Oh
We're
boy,
watching from the
my
window.
relationship is.
Ooh, you in trouble.
Oh boy.
I
Ring,
assume-
ring. Ring, ring. Let me do a luck. Why don't you do a luck roll for me? Let's see if she answers.
Okay.
A man answers.
74 out of 50 failure. I mean,
There's no answer. Eventually, you get her answering machine. Beep.
Hey, Alicia. Hi. It's me. It's Chance. I'm really sorry. I got so caught up in the tests and getting my parents settled. It was a busy night, and I know I said I'd call you as soon as I got here, but it kind of fell apart, and I hope you had a great night. And I'll try and call you tomorrow. Okay. Sorry, it's the hospital payphone. It's I'll try. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Okay. Yeah. Sorry again, and hangs up.
Nice. Was that stealth roll from Mythic on purpose? You're trying to sneak up to listen in on this conversation? Mythic is
100% just be like, hey, who you calling? Yeah, 100%.
a failed stealth roll. Mythic comes up, and
92.
that's why you end the phone call.
Just I'll call.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right.
And he tries to be so casual, like just out having a smoke, just sparks up.
And here's how.
So-
Do I
and here's,
inquire about your business when you went on a date on our time?
Our time, Michael. Jeez, I didn't realize we were such a unit.
Department time.
If you are going to work for a shadowy, quasi-governmental, arguably evil at times organization, I think you can afford yourself a little bit more latitude than you are willing to give yourself, Michael. We are not like other people. I think that much is clear now. And therefore, I don't see anything wrong with going about these missions however the fuck we want.
We
And if
need.
that means I take a little time out for a date, which, by the way, gleaned evidence, then so be it.
Just tell me next time. No smoke and mirrors. No, I just need to be somewhere. You got it?
Well, fine. But much like yourself, I didn't really want you inquiring into my business. So I think you can understand that.
Well, you seemed perfectly fine inquiring into mine.
I admit I was a little curious, but I wasn't going to be nosy about it. I've
listen
just
to my
never
phone
seen
calls.
you slip off to make a phone call before. I didn't know you had a personal life.
Let's assume I don't, and not do this again.
You'll tell me someday. Believe it or not, and you're probably not going to believe it, I find you pretty fascinating, Mike. So if you're ever willing to share, and he just takes a huge drag off his cigarette, I'm here to listen, that's all.
Maybe for the third book. And he'll head off.
Excellent. Everyone goes back. Micro's staying with Martini. Michael, where are you crashing?
It's really tempting to stay
The
at
sofa.
the yeah. I think staying on the sofa is going to be the move for tonight.
Okay. Great. And Mythic, of course, returns to his Midtown hotel. Amelia's asleep by the time you get there. Do you still have the painting?
He comes back in
Mhm.
with the painting. They have a nice rented little suite. And
Mhm.
when he comes back, Amelia waited up for a long time, but he got
Oh.
back really late. So she had like a fire going in the fireplace, and there was like wine out and everything. And she's just passed the fuck out on the couch because he got home at like
Nice.
2 a.m.
Awesome.
And
And
he
yeah.
comes in and tosses the painting into the fireplace.
Great.
And then goes to bed.
We zoom in on the flames, and then we are taken back to Martini's safe house, and it is somewhere around the middle of the night, and we see Michael on the couch, asleep, tossing and turning, a sweat on his brow. He's obviously having some sort of a bad dream. Does Michael carry a 1995 cell phone with him? No, he uses payphones, doesn't
Yep.
he? Okay,
That sounds like a way to track you.
it does. Then we don't know what it is that wakes Michael up, but eventually he comes around. And then we sort of get this sort of like hazy, mixed scene of Michael's eyes darting back and forth and the dream he just had. And we just get flashes of it because Michael can't remember all of it. But his girlfriend was there, and Mark Rourke was there. And then off in the corner in this big overstuffed armchair, smoking a cigar, is Mythic. And Mythic is reading this book. It's this small red leather-bound book with no writing on the outside. And he sort of sets it down and looks at Michael. And he says, "You know, if you're ever willing to share, let me know." And then we pull back, and all we can hear as the dream fades out are the sounds of carnal passion. And that's where we'll end tonight's episode, because we're out of time already. And
What?
yeah. So
Damn, I
we'll,
am scandalized.
you are
Truly
scandalized.
edging us. Truly edging us.
Literally.
Hey, thank you everyone for being here. Man, these games aren't long enough. I could have gone another hour, you know, I could have kept going. But we'll get it done next time in 2 weeks from tonight, which is the 23rd of this month. And we'll see you right back here. Let's go around the circle. We're going to say who we are. And I'm going to give I've got so many stars for folks tonight. I was writing down all these things. And so forgive me if I gush or if I go on too long. We'll go around in reverse order. Colin, that scene where Mythic came in with the painting, and then it's really a bookend. That's my star for you, is that you came in and just the rant about the painting and you ripped off the brown paper to expose nothing, and that was so good. And then it's bookended with the end of that scene where poor Micro has to take the thing back up.
Then I just set it on fire anyways. It didn't even have to do that.
I can't believe
I
you
love
burned it.
I love it.
For 2 reasons in Mythic's mind, at least, is
Mhm.
that painting, one, it seems to be evil for one thing. I mean, he's worried about the effects that it might have on people. It unnerved Amelia, it unnerved him, but then whatever secret it revealed, it then hid again. And that's like, it's like this is some kind of magical artifact of some kind that we do not need around. I know what it looks like. I know what it represents. It's a relatively simple painting, so he thought like, okay, I could reproduce a picture of this from memory. I could make a pencil sketch of what this looked like. We don't need the real thing because something's fucked up about this, so he destroyed it. But I did have a thought that one thing that Mythic probably wants to do now is go back to that art gallery and find out who bought the other paintings, because now he's very, very curious. Something he should
Yeah.
have thought of when he was there.
I should have asked when the going away party was. So
Mhm. Hey,
Let's
Colin.
all go.
There's a lot.
Colin, what else do you have going on? What's new? What's going on in your world?
The only thing I want to mention is that what's today? So today's the 9th. So starting 9 days from now, yeah. So the 18th, I am flying down to Raleigh, North Carolina to attend playthrough convention with my company Six String Games. And we have a booth. We're going to be expo and we're going to be selling games. I'm going to be running some games. And as part of that, well, it's not going to be out in time, but we're re-releasing our first game, Raycats. We're re-releasing it with new artwork, and it's so dope. Oh my god! I just got the first draft of it the other day. It's incredible. We got great art by the fantastic Matt Garbett, who's doing all the artwork for it. So that's going to come out, and then yeah, so check it out. Raleigh, North Carolina Playthrough Convention. It is a board game, tabletop role-playing game, and video game convention all in one. It's huge. And it's March 18th and 19th. Me and Anna are going to be there, shilling our shit. I'm very excited.
And I feel like I'm gonna do this every week, but we're gonna harass Hoop a bit more, and we gotta play a Six String Games game on.
Yeah, I
Lost
want to play
Caravan.
Altitude. Since it came out,
I
I'd love to
need
run
to
Altitude.
be in it.
Altitude.
I need
Yeah.
to be in it. This is a demand. I am making
Liv
right
needs to
now.
be in it. I agree.
Let's all
Not
climb a
absolutely.
mountain and see what happens.
And die, probably. That's kind of like
let me do this. I have
I'll
a
never
power over
die.
Hoop. Just gotta make it a secret. It's my power here. That's my power
Sweet.
here.
Thank you for
as-
making it happen, Turk.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. I love you big time, and glad you're here.
Hey, remind me next time I have a hero point, by the way, because that might change some things.
Sure. Yeah, you've got a hero point.
Hoop did remind me.
Yeah.
I noticed that, but I noticed it way too late.
Also, we have no idea what those do here. We reroll
we
stuff.
don't know what
Sure.
I
Sure,
guess
we'll do
reroll.
we'll make them rerolls. Yeah. Casa, I have two for Martini, my favorite character for some reason this week. Just, and I think it's always just her. She's so casual about being amoral and like just she's obviously psychopathic, and I love it. But the two of them is one is when you first saw Micro, the first words out of your mouth was, "How's it been with computers?" Which is just
because I've been reading the book, right? That was the only thing on the plane. So I was reading.
Yep. And then the other thing is her not obsession, but her interest this week in who's banging.
Yeah.
Were you
Well,
banging?
here's the thing. I'm choosing to believe that Martini is a giant Friends fan,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so like she's like,
Will they? Won't
all
they?
of you are all sharing one apartment building. You're all fucking.
It could be as innocent as that, or it could be worse. We don't know.
Oh my
Martini. Oh my
Everyone's
gosh.
fucking each other in that apartment.
That you figured it out. That's how they make more floors is through sex.
Commune.
Yeah.
It's
Well, that's it.
Office,
That's the last
commune,
episode.
orgy. You're only saying the same thing over and over again, babes. Like,
That's why they call it procreation. Casa, what do you have going on? Do you have anything coming up? Anything we should know about?
No, I'm really working on this novel, and it's trying to like kill me.
No,
but,
don't let it.
Don't let
Yeah,
it.
I'm trying not to.
Be
But
strong.
You kill that novel first.
Yeah,
clawing-
make sure that
Kill it
novel
right the fuck
dies.
back.
Casa,
Yeah.
my recommendation to you is to move into an artists co-op.
Yeah.
It'll give you time to
You're
work
gonna
on
get
it.
lots of sex in there, so
Smoking,
I
art.
say hit it with a chair.
baloney.
Oh.
There's a good amount of baloney.
As a Maloney, yeah.
the
That's-
wonders that a
Expiration
post-nut
date.
clarity does for writer's block.
Well,
I
thank
mean,
you,
it would help,
Casa.
right? There's a lot of inspiration everywhere.
It was great having you back, and it was great having you here. And Martini brings so much. Let us jump on up to Turk. Turk, Michael was on fire this week, mostly because the most serious straight-laced dude in the group was the first to like find something bizarre and surreal, and you had to convey that, but also stick by your principles. What was the line? I appreciate this emotional opening from you.
That
Or
was
so-
such a good. Oh my god,
That was great. I
phenomenal.
didn't know how to reply. I don't
Mhm.
think Martini knew. She would just be like, "Oh."
Yep,
I
yep, yep.
appreciate
It
this
was and I've got another one for you that I wrote down and now I can't read it, but I'm sure it was great.
The fact that the second one is incomprehensible just is my favorite thing in the world.
It just has I have the word mothers with an apostrophe S, and I don't remember what it's in reference to. I'll go back later and find it.
I don't know.
But
Jerk getting really excited when he figured out that the mom was probably dead and the letter was
Yes!
pretty
that's
blunt.
what it
Oh,
was.
Yeah.
Remembering the mother's death day, yeah, was
Yeah.
that was pretty sharp and in character.
I felt like
Yeah.
Steve in Blue's Clues. Like, we just
You
found a
are Stephen
clue.
Blue's Clues. I'd
That's
like to
the
see
nicest
Michael
thing
do that
anyone's ever
dance.
said to me.
Turk, you got games coming up? What are you doing?
Yeah, oh gosh, I have so many games. It was a trap card the whole time. You know, hey everybody, like I said, Turk or Turk accented. I reblog or retweet things that I do. So, you know,
Mhm.
War Motes is a great example. But first, before the oats are warm, which is a thing only like 5 people will get,
Mhm.
I'm here on Sunday for Nova, which is a really fun game by Gila Games, and we're gonna be a big siege thing, so you know, big finale stuff. On the 14th, I'm over on Neon Lights Roleplay, where I am in Galgalim, which is an Eastern European Yiddish style fantasy, which is really fun. We've only had one session. It's mostly been world building, but already like the stakes are set, and I am afeared for our group. On next week, the 16th, I am running Frozen Rain, which is a Lancer campaign over on Neon Lights that Hooper is in. So if you have seen Andrew play Lancer and force his players through terrible things, this is your chance to get revenge.
Oh.
Send some points my way, because things are not going to get better. And of course, on the 20th is Oathsworn, which is an epic Greek mythology meets a high-level
Mhm.
fantasy D&D game that I run over on Neon Lights now. It's kind of come through
Yeah.
through many trials and tribulations. It is back. We're in season 2. If you don't know what that is, don't worry. Most of the cast forgot all the lore anyway. And we're in a very cool big city. They got some cults to look into. So kind of Cthulhu-esque, which I
And this is
enjoy.
why everyone says oats warm? Is that
Oath
what it is?
Swarm. Yeah, it's Oath Sworn, but everyone says Oath Swarm.
Hilarious.
Love
Yeah,
one of-
I don't know. It's one of those things
Or like
you
more
can't
oats.
control. But whenever we're
Gotcha.
going live, we say the oats are hot.
Gotcha.
They're about to be warm. But yeah. Then By His Shadow Peace, which is a Wrath and Glory, which is a Warhammer 40k game on Wednesday.
When
And
do
then
you sleep?
oh, haha.
Oh, honey. Oh.
Good one.
What is sleep?
Oh no, I just dream of future campaigns. It's fine. But on the 23rd, we'll be right back here, and I'm really excited to find out what happens next. Because oh my gosh, this is just
Man. These next 2 weeks are gonna be so long. I can't I want more. I want to get you back in there and yeah.
yeah. Why don't we play this just every day? Let's just
Okay. I'll see you tomorrow.
Every
oh,
day.
perfect. Sounds good to
You'll
me.
try to do the rest of it off stream, and then whatever happens by the time we get to the 23rd,
Yeah.
Right.
you'll just have to
But yeah,
catch up.
a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
But also really quick as I sign off, support all the excellent people you're seeing on screen here. They're absolutely incredible. A quick shout out to Neon Lights, real quick, because we are running a charity where you can donate. This week is the Malala Fund. So that's really awesome.
Nice.
We're
And
every
we're gonna
week.
rate them.
Yes, we're about to raid
Yeah, we're
them.
gonna rate
So
them in a
if
little
you get a
bit.
chance, hit them with hit the Tiltify link, and give what you can if you can, because every week we're gonna be doing a new charity. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining
Sweet.
us. We can do this without you, and be a good person or else.
Yeah, there you go. And I can say this because you've gone and Colin's gone and Liv is about to go. I ship Mythic and Michael. It's my favorite couple in this cast. And Liv gave it a name. Liv, what did you name it?
I named it Mythical. Oh, I thought I
It's a
was
couple
froze for
name?
a second. I named it Mythical.
Perfect. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
a
is
couple name.
canon.
But I do want to let it be known that that's different than a couple name and a team name. So the couple name is Mythical,
Sure.
but
Okay.
the number one team, Casa, raise your glass, is Team Minibar.
I saw that message
I
and
love
I
it
lost
so
my
much.
shit.
Who said that? What?
Excellent. Excellent. Guys with your tiny bottles. Liv, there was Mythical and there was what's an encyclopedia salesman?
Yeah.
Which is great. And an actual legit question because in 1995, nobody was an encyclopedia salesman.
No, there was
Right? You could buy them on,
like,
you could
there
call
were
a number
some
and get World Book.
salesmen. There
Right.
were
Yeah.
some salesmen. I feel like, okay, wow, I'm like deep. I'm really tapping into a deep memory. I feel like my babysitter had a vacuum salesman show up at our door one time. But
Wow.
when I
Okay.
say like babysitter, I mean like this woman watched me from the time that I was maybe about 2 until I entered kindergarten. So like that's like late
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah.
I feel like
The
it was very odd
encyclopedia,
for
the
a vacuum
Encyclopedia
salesman person.
Britannica was sold by door-to-door salesmen until the year 2012.
Really?
Whoa.
Okay.
I mean,
We
I
have to
always got
remember
my
the Midwest
encyclopedias with
exists.
magazines and shit.
Oh, good point. Good point. The Midwest is a place. Yeah.
This place.
It takes
Yeah, and
5
where
years
stuff
to
like that
realize
happened
things
until
happen.
2012. Great.
12.
Liv, what else do you have going on? What's new with you? Working, living life,
Yeah, you know, live, laugh, loving or
driving.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think I'm like need to burp, but it will not come out. So we're just gonna
Mhm.
keep powering.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yes. Yep.
I'm kind of in my hibernation.
Me too.
I cannot hear you anymore, Liv.
Oh,
Is it just me? Is it just me?
I know, I was like breaking up. I was like,
Actually, no, it was just you, Turk.
I figured it's okay.
Liv, did you
Hi.
mute
Okay, now,
yourself?
Hello. No, I didn't. I'm unmuted.
Okay. Just internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're in your
slow.
hibernation.
I'm in my hibernation era because most of my stream and I'm just doing recordings, which will not be out for a while. But
Oh.
the only other stream that I have going on at this time, besides this lovely show, is Under the Table. We are playing Wander Home. Wander Home? Yeah, this year or this season, where we are a bunch of little creatures on a pirate ship, except our pirate ship flies through the sky, and
So
so we
basically
go.
the same as this game.
Yeah. And we go from little island to
Exactly.
island and solve people's problems. And I
Yeah.
play a little rabbit who is supposed to be your local post person, except they got kidnapped. And now they are on a pirate ship.
Oh, that's so cute.
You
I
play
wanna
a
watch that.
male rabbit? Not like a male rabbit, but like a male rabbit, like a rabbit that delivers mail.
Yes, like hello, I'm here to deliver your
I
mail.
even need to see this. It's on Under the Table.
No.
It's on
That's
well, okay,
so
so it's on Total
cute.
Party Chills.
Oh, it's
So
TPC. Okay.
cute.
Yeah,
Okay.
TPC's Under the Table. Under the Table is our indie show where we showcase aren't D&D and Pathfinder. That's basically the only requirement. And we'll
a
play
bunch
your
of those.
game.
I love it.
I'm
I
gonna
love
watch
it. I'm gonna
just
tune
for
in.
You know
the
what?
male
Actually,
rabbit.
we have had a couple of our followers be like, "Hey, you should play some Six Streams games," and I'm like, "I know, I'm friends with them. I know you should. I'm friends with them."
Hype is real.
Yeah, yeah, so it's a lot of fun and it's very cute so far. And we are every month showcasing a different guest, usually a queer or non-binary person of color. So it's also a great opportunity to not just expose yourself to new games, but also to new creators. There are always
Love it.
wonderful players and wonderful creators popping up all over this incredible TTRPG space.
Awesome.
But I will spoil something because I haven't talked about it in any other show. But I said all of that and all those things going back to D&D. Going back to the dragons. I'm gonna be writing one come April.
You're gonna write a dragon?
I'm going to
You're gonna
ride a
ride.
dragon in a
Ride a dragon.
dragon rider campaign.
You're gonna ride a dragon. Even
Right.
better.
I definitely thought you said right, but yes, okay, good.
No, it's
Yes.
okay. It's just my
You're gonna
lack of
ride
an
one, yeah.
accent. Actually, okay. I felt called out. I'm not gonna lie. When you were like, "Oh, there's a question ending," or it sounds like he's asking a question because
Mhm.
the voice keeps going up. Because I'm a Californian, and that is the California
All it
accent.
is. Lewis
California
Phillips
lit.
is from California.
Is it?
Yeah, that's
Is that
It's a
how you
little bit.
talk?
so.
Take the
Anyway,
405.
are we going to
Oh.
end the show?
It is.
We are.
Absolutely not.
But first, I have one more
Announcement?
compliment star for Liv, which is your nails are fierce.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like they look
thanks.
so good.
For Easter.
Yeah.
boots.
Love it, love it, love it. I'm Doc Rambo. I am here every other Thursday. That is the TTRPG I'm streaming right now, and 2 weeks can't pass fast enough. I've also been streaming a lot more. I streamed like 3 days this week on my own channel, playing Red Dead Redemption 2 roleplay with my deputy, who is either a robot or just real deeply on the autistic spectrum, which is probably both.
They're
And
just practical.
they're just practical and logical, and he's Baymax or Data from Star Trek, but he's great, and having the best time this week for some reason playing. So come on by and check that out anytime you want. Other than that, I don't know if we have anything else. Thanks once more to Epidemic Sound for all the music and the creepy music that we heard tonight. Stick around. We're going to be rating Neon Lights. We're going to jump over to them in just a minute. But until next time, do nice things, be good people, whatever Hoop says. Bye.
Or else.
Or else.